make us big.
Gonna make us big.
Yeah, because it's about us.
And we are streaming
in 4803 kilobit per second. Through the magic of internet, our green screen studio. It's Tuesday night. I'm Kim of Kim Fixes Things. You can find my channel also on YouTube at Kim Fixes Things. I'm here with Buff Del Campo, the namesake.
I'm here with Kim.
Yeah, of the namesake of this channel. You have found us. Obviously, you already knew that because you're here. And yeah, on Tuesdays, we stream from the studio with the green screen. I can move us around. I can move us through time and space. And we can show you things. We can give you compelling visual programming so that you can be entertained. And, oh, Olive already got a Mazda CX-5 ad.
Oh, we already got ads going out? Oh,
yeah,
that's weird.
You get 2 points.
Well, you know, I figured this out. Sometimes if somebody's already watching things on YouTube,
yeah,
it doesn't go by our time schedule, it goes by their time schedule. So they might have an ad pop up at odd times from what we think they're going to pop up. It took me a while to figure that out.
Oh, also YouTube TV. Interesting. Well, you know what? I think there's how's it go? I think they get the intro ads.
The intro ads?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess because I don't know.
The way it is.
Let's see. Olive got the first comment for 3 points, and Johnny C followed quickly after.
Wait a minute. She got 3 points.
Yeah.
And 2 points for an ad.
Well, I already awarded the 2 points.
Oh, you did? Okay, so she got 5. Okay, I'm sorry, interrupted. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention then.
Yeah, no double dipping on the points. Yeah, one set of points per ad break. Buddy Carafano is here. You get a point for being the third one in. Says Happy April Fools. That's right. Did anybody see any really good April Fool's jokes today? One of the streamers that I was watching had titled their stream that they were giving up and they were changing games to something absurd that they would never play because that wasn't their type of gaming. But
I mentioned it on my short.
So they didn't do it.
I mentioned it on my short on the way to the post office. And I said April Fool's. I kind of laughed, but it wasn't an April Fool's joke. I was actually on the way to the post office in the Zephyr Z7. I've been driving it for 4 days. It's my daily driver now. And so I did a video on it.
I got to do something with that carburetor. It's just not doing what it's supposed. It once it gets going, it's fine. But it seems like the
their Varmerkoffer.
Yeah.
Oh, the choke.
The Varmerkoffer is all the way off, so it does not choke. But that's by design because the exhaust. There was a little tube that came from the exhaust to heat the choke so that it would open up. And that was rusted and busted off. So instead of fixing that, I just turned the choke all the way off for temporary. And then it seems like the what's the other part that's not working?
Accelerator pump.
The accelerator pump just not working.
Oh, I went out there, pump, about 5-6 times. And it wouldn't start. Now, all the cars I've had in my past, they're carbureted cars. The chokes are not working. You pump it 4, 5, 6 times and it fire right up. This thing didn't do that. So I tried a whole bunch of times. Still didn't. So 50 times pumped the gas pedal and it started barely and then it quit. And I did it again and it started. That was yesterday. And so I've been carrying a little primer bottle.
Hot sauce.
Shot it down the carburetor and it fired right out. I guess that was the day before. Yesterday I just shot the gas down the carburetor.
You don't want to have to pop the hood and take the air cleaner off every time you want to go somewhere. And once it's warmed up, it restarts fine.
Yep.
But you said it has a little bit of an off-idle stumble. I think it just doesn't have any accelerator pump shot at all. And
if I pull away from a stop sign
and I messed something up on the rebuild.
If I just push my foot on the gas like a normal 71-year-old guy would, it goes fine. If I just romp on it, it doesn't like that. So I know it's not getting a good squirt from the from the accelerator pump. So we got to, that's one of those little things.
There's a lot of little things.
But little things, it's not a little thing like a heater core. That was like, when we got there, I knew there were a lot of little things. And the guy says, oh, and I got the heater core for you in the trunk. And I was like, heater core in a Fox body? Oh, no.
Throw the whole car away.
I still wanted the car, but man, I didn't want to hear that. But we got through that one.
We should have got in a car and just drove home.
We got through that. So now,
He
there's
does
a
have
new
heat.
heater core in there. When I go down the road, I just bleed a little heat in. It's like 50 degrees this morning, so I just had just a little heat bleeding in. It was so nice. It's just perfect in there. So
Yeah, and it definitely has an exhaust manifold leak.
oh,
So we need an exhaust manifold gasket. Did you
I
order
ordered that.
one?
Ordered the
Okay.
gasket. It was a big $8.
It's another one of those parts. It's like, it needs an exhaust manifold. Hey, but here's the gasket. So I did the hard part. I got you the gasket.
Ads already. I missed that.
Ads.
You know,
Again.
down there it popped up.
Oh, well, that's all right. There's only a couple people here. You guys are the early birds. Thanks for coming in right on time. I think it's because the weather's nice, maybe. It's a weeknight.
The weather is getting better. Although
Yeah.
we're supposed to have 5 days of rain starting tomorrow. So our garden will have,
Well, plenty of rain. We got to get something in that shop to work on so we can stay dry, get some stuff done. Rob's Rods and Streetcars is here. Says howdy. Welcome to the stream, Rob. Lester LeSabre says, I saw a joke article that said Warren Buffett bought Tesla for $1 trillion cash. You'd think he'd be able to get it for cheaper than that right now. If he could get a really good discount, that's a good April Fool's joke, because you just wouldn't know for sure if that had anything to do.
Lester LeSabre's here. He sent me an email. I don't think it was meant just for me. I'm gonna share a little bit of it. He said Mexican Spec just turned the Fairmont over to, I'm not gonna say his name, the guy that brings it into the U.S. across the border, and Mexican Spec and his wife are taking the bus back home. So Mexican Spec may not be in here tonight. He might be on a bus, but I guess we never know. So anyway, that was from Lester Sabre. That's pretty cool. So looks like he's getting a really cool
That's got to be super exciting. Johnny C., welcome to the stream. You get 2 points for calling out your advertisements. Wix Studio, I see those. Those are for making web pages. And Riley's.
Riley.
Dr. Go is here, says, finally an early bird. Well, for me anyways, big snow coming in tonight and tomorrow. Oh, I don't think we're getting any of that. We're just getting rain. Sorry you're getting snow.
I looked on the radar and there's rain coming our way, and as I look north, it just all turns white. It's like, wow, that's where Dr. Go is. I gotta laugh because I moved out of the Great White North, and I'm kind of not. I'm really happy I'm not getting hammered with snow in April anymore.
Olive, thanks for showing up early for the start of the stream, and wanted to let's see what. I've been doing a few more things with The Last of the Light. Well, enjoy it. We forgive. People will trickle in. And I think there's some other streams that go, and sometimes people bounce, but it's fine. It's fine. We're here. We're just doing our thing, I put up the link in case there's people who are not familiar. We take pictures from viewers. If you've got a picture of your own vehicle, or project, or pictures of maybe a family car that you remember that you want to show and talk about or share, send that to buffdelcampo@gmail.com, and we'll get it right away, and we'll put it up on the stream while you're here. And also, we're talking about what, 1962 automobiles.
And I put a 62 Dodge up there just for the fun of it. It's just a file photo off of.
Yeah, and like he said, it's for the fun of it, right? Do you have a favorite car from 1962? or a picture that's from 1962 or something automotive adjacent from 1962, we'd love to talk about it tonight. And we just pick a year every week, and it kind of gives us a little bit of direction. But it gives everybody an opportunity to participate because we've all got projects that span many decades.
And of course, if you got pictures of your own car,
I
your
already
own
said
shop,
that.
yourself, man, those, yeah, send them in.
Yeah.
This car here, what's interesting about the 62 Dodge is that it's a,
I'll make us little.
make us little, okay. It's the very first of the B body Chrysler products. The 62 Dodge and the 62 Plymouth were the B bodies, and that was a Chrysler kind of made a miscalculation, and they thought everything was going smaller. I don't know why. Their spies didn't do the job quite right. But anyway, so they made their full-size cars on the new B body. I really liked them. A lot of people liked them, but they didn't have a big car right off. So that was their 62 full-size car. It was actually a B body. Pretty nice car, I think. Kind of strange looking, but man, what a nice car to drive. I remember those things when they were fairly new and they handled good and they drove nice.
Olive said we had a bit of fun in the drive stream getting the car there. So thank you for supporting Mexican Spec while he's moving that car around, because I know he's trying to build community and interest on his channel. He's put in a lot of years of work being people's moderators, and now he's trying to do his own thing. So I know we were not able to participate in the way we would have liked because you had he was on the road. He had appointments and stuff like that.
I told Mexican Spec I'd be in his live, but then what happened is I had a doctor's appointment, and then I realized that our Jeep was on its last day of its registration, last day of the registration, and then my car was almost out of gas. So after my doctor's appointment, got gas, which you only think is going to take a minute, but it's another thing. Then off the DMV to pay my registration on the Jeep. Walked in there, and it's this little thing, and you get a number. I was 50 numbers. That place was packed. I've never seen that many people in there. It was a good 45 minutes before I got up to the front and paid it. And then I was out of there, and then I had to go to my P.O. box because it was on the last day. I had to pay it, and the P.O. box is like a long ways from there. By the time I got back, of course, Mexican Specs Live was over. So I watched it anyway, but I watched it on the rerun, so I couldn't participate, but I watched it. It was kind of fun watching him drive across Mexico and through a couple of towns and things. It was pretty cool.
Chris Customs is here. Welcome to the stream. Dr. Go says, fun to roll in anytime and enjoy where the chat goes. Always cool stuff, cool people, and always learn something. Well, we strive to do some of that stuff, and sometimes we're successful. At least we're trying. Chris says he owns an International Harvester A120 Metro van.
He meant to say 1962, which he corrected in the next line. Oh. That was a 1962, not a. I don't know what if he.
I'm gonna have to look that up. Did he send a picture?
I don't know. Chris, send a picture.
Well,
I mean, if you can. If you can't, you can't. But if not, we will. Kim will.
Oh wow!
Yeah, isn't that cool? These. That's cool.
Let's look. I think that's cool enough. Sorry, that's left over from last.
It's one above my head.
Didn't Morski Repair just do a 62 van?
When I was little...
Morski Repair? Did you watch that one?
No, I didn't watch it.
He couldn't get it going. It gave him grief.
When I was a little kid, there was a milkman every morning. You didn't buy your milk at the store. The milkman brought it. And it was every other morning. And we'd be eating breakfast at the counter, and the milkman would show up with the milk. He drove one of those, just like that green one, that olive green one, but it had whatever the milk brand was on it. And it was, so I remember those. That was the milk truck. It was pretty good.
Dr. Go and Oliver talking about the car you have posted. So I'm going to jump back to
Oh,
there.
where's this? Where's this?
They're saying
Oh,
Dr. Joe likes cool lines and tons of chrome back in the day of the early 60s. Yeah, we should be looking at cars with lots of that. Lots of that. Very distinctive, too. Like 60s cars, they stand out as like the 50s. The cars were higher roof lines and different kinds of, like they were real. They really changed coming into the 60s. And
And
then,
they started getting lower and wider.
yeah, and then the 70s are distinctive again. So, I mean, the 60s really, and 62, I think we should see some pretty neat stuff. They had a lot of round headlights in 62. They, like my car had, they started squaring up the front by 66, but
In 1965, I was in South Dakota. We moved there, and Brookings, South Dakota, and our neighbor had a 3-year-old. They bought it new. One of these, only it was a 4-door, and it was red. And he was a fireman, volunteer fire department, and he had a red light on top. And he used to go down the street going like crazy in that thing with the light flashing. I thought that was like one of the coolest cars I've ever seen, you know. So yeah, and I rode in it a few times, and it was almost new then. It was only 3 years old. Steve Edwards, Buff, I had to buy an EGR valve and O2 sensor for the 93 Escort. I hope the engine light don't come on after I fix those two things. Yeah, let's hope not. 93. Yeah, that should be, for electronic cars, that should be pretty straightforward.
I don't know. It's got all the electronic. Well, no, it doesn't have nearly the same as my.
93,
It's so hard to
that's
believe how much stuff they pack into cars now.
32 years ago. You had one in the shop just a few days ago. It was what, a 2019 or something? But somebody else did the troubleshooting, and then she brought Kim's friend brought a gas pedal in. You know, I always call it fly-by-wire. It's a drive-by-wire gas pedal that there's no linkage to the engine. It plugs in. It's this big plastic thing, and she installed it, but we have no idea if it works yet because the light comes on
I
engine
need to
like.
call her and see if she's driven the car any and
Okay.
having any better luck with it.
Because it
now.
comes on intermittently. So when she left, it was driving, but we don't know if the light came back on, and we didn't do the troubleshooting on it. So
Well, I mean, she brought me the diagnostic codes, and I looked it up, and everything sort of pointed at the rheostat sort of thing. It's got multiple channels to the accelerator pedal readout, and it was given some kind of code that means that the pedal is bad. It's like, you got to replace the whole pedal because the rheostat's bad? Yeah, that's how it's made.
it's a big plastic
Okay.
pedal. There's no metal in it. Everything is molded plastic,
Yeah.
and that's the gas pedal.
It's like a whole assembly. Like, I would have never, like it wasn't a total shock, but it was like, oh, it's this. This is what they do now. It's so not like what they used to do. Let's see. I skipped some stuff. Olive says she likes the look of this car in the convertible with those colors.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
Dodge Dart.
The only, you know what, it seems like there's something missing.
Like the top?
Well, the top's down.
Okay.
But no, like on the lower part of the door.
See, there's two different. The Dart was not a compact car yet. 62, it was this, but it was the lower trim level, and the Polara was the higher trim level. And that
Oh.
thing in the back that has those little vents right in front of the taillight, that orange thing,
Yeah.
the Polara had that with a chrome around it, and it was usually a different color. And the Dart didn't have some of the chrome, and that thing, it just had these little vents back there. But no, it wasn't, what do you call it? It didn't stand out like this. So this was the Polara, the higher trim level. Look up 62 Dart. See what that says. Patrick Sullivan, hey guys, just finished dinner, brought some taters. How goes it?
Oh wow, yeah, it does look really similar.
Yeah, it's the same body. Now see that brown one there? The Dart? That's what my neighbor had. Jeez,
Quit sneezing.
I'm sorry.
And we're nor in the chat.
Didn't take the cough drop in time. Oh.
Let's see. Patrick Sullivan is here. Welcome to the stream. And he said he just finished dinner. He had brats and taters. Nice. And Dr. Go said we had a black 61 or 62 Chrysler Newport wagon with tons of chrome. It was a year where they muted down the tail fins.
Look for that. Look for 62.
That's what I'm going to do.
Chrysler Newport wagon. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Mike in. Good evening. Oh, man. My throat's going to give me trouble. Oh, yeah, look at that. Definitely muted down the...
I like the muted tail fins. This front end, though, sort of reminds me of your Studebaker.
What's
or
that?
Of a Ford. So I don't know.
What I like about these
wagons. This is
wagons,
a really unusual front end on this car.
It's a hardtop, which means there's no pillar between the front doors and the back doors. It's just wide open
classy.
there.
Yeah.
And four-door hardtops are a real big deal. And then some companies did it on the station wagon. Like Mercury's had it that way, and these Chryslers had it that. I think it looked really good, but I remember my father wouldn't buy anything that was a hardtop because he wanted the pillar there in case we ever rolled the thing over. He says you get killed in that thing. But I don't know. It's a big wide car. I don't know.
roll that car over.
Yeah.
Basically, it's not a race car. Just drive it, and you won't roll it over.
What it's like. Hey, Jay, how you doing?
Welcome to the stream.
We are here. I was watching one of his videos. Man, I don't know if it was last night, during the night, in the morning. I made a comment in this video. It says here, Jay says, do you know who made the first four-door hardtop wagon? I'm not sure, but I think it was Mercury in 1957, but I'm not sure. You probably know that, because Jay is a old car history guy. Knows old car history. Knows it well. Oh, I know that. See, there's the 61. See, it had the big fins over there on the far right. In 62, it was one that they call... Oops, I'm not pointing the right way.
I know.
Can't point.
It's tough. What color is it?
It's yellow. It's in the far right side.
Oh, the model?
Yeah, that's a 61 with the fins. And the 62... is the one that's
not so much.
They called the plucked chickens.
They called them plucked chickens?
Plucked chickens. Oh, look at this. What it's like. Jay says 56 cross-country Rambler made by AMC.
That was the
first. I forgot about that.
It's not a convertible, but you still feel outside.
Yeah. I always like the pillarless because it's not a convertible. You still feel outside. My brother's 63 Plymouth that I drove a lot. It was a two-door hardtop, so no pillars. The first thing I do when I get in that car is roll all the windows down because it looks so good. Turbo Tom, what's the going price for an 82 Chevy C10? Man, anything that old, it's condition, You'll have to research that one Chevy. A bit.
Yeah, it depends on what engine, what options. Definitely does it have paint?
How big are the rust holes?
Does it have wheels? Does it have a lift kit? There's a lot of there's a whole lot. I mean, between 82 and now, a lot can have been done. How many miles? How many engines has it had?
Can you look up 1956 Rambler cross country wagon?
Oh, absolutely.
I want to see what that. I'd forgotten about that.
No, I'm not doing it.
You're not doing it.
All right, I'll do it.
But I want to see what Jay's talking about because I kind of remember that, but not real well.
We're already getting derailed.
Tommy Hanlon. Hello from Dublin. 1:24 in the morning. Oh, look at that. There you go, right there. Look at that. I forgot about that. See, they had the they had ones with the pillar, and then they had ones that were wide open like that. That green one with the wood on the side is a this one. Oh, there's another one behind my head. That one. Look at that. That's amazing. Because Rambler was usually not ahead on the styling side of things, but they sure were there. Although I don't know if I like the rest of the car, but that wide open window looks really good. I was disappointed in when was it, late 70s? Ford started, they got rid of that. They call it a pillared hardtop, where they put a pillar, but it was real thin, and the window still cranked down with no frame around the window, but
It
but
wasn't just
they got
glass.
rid of the hardtop, yeah. Let's see here. Oh, Patrick Sullivan, was it from Illinois? Jay says the 59 is the best in my opinion. Okay, so we're gonna see what Jay likes.
The 59 what?
59, I assume he means AMC cross country, or Rambler is what they called them all then, Ramblers. They were AMC, but everybody called it a Rambler. I didn't like those tail fins on those Ramblers. Let's see, I had my Cub Scout den mother had one of those wagons. I rode around in it. I thought the thing was ugly.
Patrick Sullivan, it absolutely is what it's like of the YouTube channel. So check him out if you have never, because he does lots of automotive content that is probably of interest of the nostalgic people who are in our channel. Jack Stands and Cinderblocks is here. Welcome to the stream. I can't stay long, but I'll leave a like. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Hopefully, we'll be going for a little while. Maybe you can stop back later.
Yeah, and what it's like is Jay from the YouTube channel, what it's like. And I don't know, somehow he and I ended up corresponding and talking to each other on the phone, and so we become friends. And it's, we both kind of like the old cars. So, and I watch all his videos because they're pretty good. He just did one on the Auburn Cord Duesenberg, kind of the history of that. It was a pretty good video, So when you're finished here, go watch the what it's like Auburn Cord Duesenberg history. Pretty good stuff.
Olive said, Kitty Cat brought a mouse in to play with. Well, that's feline enrichment. That's good.
I took a mouse out of the house today.
Oh, that's right, you did.
We had a little almost black mouse running around. And I've set traps right where I see him running, and he just avoids them. And it's been going on for a while. And, man, down by my feet on my desk, I put a trap down there with a little piece of some kind of a nut in it. Man, I hear whack. Like, what was that? Oh, that sounded like a mouse trap. I got a flashlight and looked down there. Yep. I don't like killing them, but, I can't have them running around in the house. They make a mess.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't feel bad. They eat our food. They tear into the wall. They chew in the walls. They chew through the vents. We have the vents in the crawl space are made of like foil and insulation, so they chew through so they can run around. So
they ruin stuff.
Really ruin stuff. Like, I'm sorry, like, they're cute in a cage, but outside, no. And there's an unlimited supply of those things. There's a billion of them out there. And when it gets cold, they're all trying to get in here. So it's not like they poop everywhere. They make a mess. How many of us, of car people, have had stuff ruined by mice? They are just... I don't hate mice, but I hate the damage that mice cause. I can't handle it.
I put up a poll one time. What was
more destructive?
More destructive or less desirable or something, and it was rodent damage in the car, rust. And I think it was rust won out as the better thing.
People would rather deal with rust than mouse damage.
Oh, man. I think that's how it came out. That poll is still sitting there. You can still look at it.
Hippie Long is here. Welcome to the stream.
Hey, Hippie Long.
Oh, wait.
I need to talk to you.
He says he's going to miss most of the show.
Oh God. For the last 4 days I've gone to my P.O. box and I've had to renew it. Yesterday it ran out, so yesterday and we got ads right when I'm talking. I'll wait. I don't want to be covered up by ads.
Terry Mott is here. Welcome to the stream, Terry. If you get an ad, tell me about it. I'll award you 2 points. And the points are a mystery thing that you would collect. I don't keep track of the points. You keep track of your points. It's on your honor system. No cheating. And we have really honest people in our stream. I can trust you to take care of your points. And at some point, we're going to give out stickers, or if you collect enough, a toaster, or the Subaru. Although, yeah.
Okay, ads are probably clicked out of. So, hippie long. My P.O. box yesterday was the last day, so I went out there and paid it, and I checked, and the woman there, the post officer, whatever she is, a little post office, one person in there. It's a nice place, easy to deal with. I told her I was expecting something, so she went out, and she looked. She went back in the back, and she came back and said, nope, I was out there today, nothing. I don't know what's going on. Maybe you have a tracking number or something. I don't know. But nothing. And you said it was supposed to be here on Saturday, so we're still... Okay, there's lots of ads here.
Okay, Terry Mott, welcome to the stream. If you've been here, he says he got a Fifth Third Bank ad. You get 2 points. Crash Roadrunner Garage got a Hulu ad. You get 2 points. Patrick Sullivan says no ads ever, but is requesting a point. I will award you a point.
A point for
what are you doing to keep from getting ads? Plus 100 points to... No. That's not the way to do it. You almost got me to say it. Dr. Go got an Instacart commercial. You get 2 points. I don't keep track of the ads either, Kim. Okay.
Oh, that would be interesting, though, because they would be Irish ads. We wouldn't see those here, probably.
Well, that's all right. You don't have to collect points. It's going to be tough to ship stuff out of the United States. So, but well, you know, it'll all work out when we finally have things to send out to people, gifts and whatnot. You know, we know who's here and who's a good community member and who is participating, and we may make allowances for people. Maybe we'll issue challenges in exchange for points for people maybe who are unable to collect them in standard ways.
So now I see what Patrick Sullivan, he's a YouTube Premium subscription like I am.
Yeah.
Kim is not, but I am. So once in a while I watch on Kim's computer and I see the ads come through, but I never see them on my computer. So because you are supporting us by paying the premium subscription, he deserves at least a point for supporting us.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's got to go on my list. I think I should... You premium subscribers, you're going to have to remind me to award points to premium subscribers who are viewing so that they can... Yeah. Because that's nice. Olive says, I'm a Gen Xer and habitually tune out all advertising. Yes, but it's subliminal. It creeps into your mind. They just keep... They get their little jingles and their little things, and, you know, you learn the jingle. You don't even want to listen, but you know it. O'Reilly's Auto Parts.
Jack Sands at Cinderblocks is also a premium subscriber, so...
Oh, Tommy needs a toaster.
He says 120-volt toaster is just what I need, Kim. That's a joke. You know why?
Because they don't go...
Because they're at 220.
Oh.
So everything over there is 220 or 230 or 240
It'll still work.
Something.
It'll just toast really fast.
Slow.
No.
Oh, really fast. Yeah,
really
because
fast. Because you're doubling up.
Yeah, you're right.
It might burn out, though. So
You might have a fire bottle standing by.
Let's see. Give me a moment to catch up here Mike N is here. Welcome to the stream. Plymouth Sundance came in 3 trim levels. Highline, America, and Duster. Why would they name it like that? I don't know. Shoot. Why would that name it like that? Tears should be obvious. Yeah, I don't know. It was a different time. It was a different time. People knew. People knew. That was like the newest, greatest thing. You knew. Just like you know now that the Scat Pack is the most expensive charger or whatever, you know? At the time, you just know because advertising and whatnot. You know, it was a big event when they released the new car models, wasn't it? You would talk about it sometimes.
Big deal.
Yep. TV programs and stuff, you know. And if you didn't know, I'm sure that was even worse. You wouldn't be telling people, I don't know the difference.
Okay,
You'd look foolish.
Buddy Carapano sent some pictures in. I got the first one up.
Okay.
And it is a 62 Oldsmobile Starfire.
The white doesn't do very well on this, does it?
Well, it's still a nice looking car. I mean, I remember those.
Oh, yeah, but it looks better on a screen than it does on our... It doesn't work very well on this. It's a beautiful car, though.
Hip along. Sorry, Buff. Anyways, it will drive you nuts.
Oldsmobile Starfire?
I got noticed it was not delivered yet. Okay, well, that notice is correct.
I wonder why. Did you ask at the post office if they get Amazon deliveries?
Well, yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking. I order from Amazon. It usually comes on an Amazon truck to an address. But I don't know. You're sending Amazon, but I don't know if they send that to a P.O. box somehow or not. I don't know what's going on there.
Did you ask?
No, I didn't.
I told you to ask.
I know, but when I was there today, the post officer was out to lunch and the door was locked. So I can still get the P.O. boxes. So I checked my box and looked in there, and it was empty. So there was no notice in there, nothing. So
Mike says I was premium, but had to cancel because he was too cheap. Hey, I'm too cheap too. I got subscriptions, and why is everything costs money now? I guess it always did, but
okay, here we go with a 62 Chrysler.
Tends to be negative reinforcement. You know who I really I see a lot of advertisement for the Coro heater water protecting anode rod thing. I mean, constantly. I see it like 10 or 15 times a day.
What is this?
Coro Protect powered hot water heater protecting anode rod.
Oh, wow.
Like, I know the whole thing because it plays, it's a non-skippable ad on Twitch TV. I see it over and over, sometimes 2 or 3 times in the same ad break. Those people must just be marketing the living heck out of that. Anyways.
So, St. Lester Saber said that Mexican Spec wants to mention 62 information contribution first year for cornering lights on a Cadillac. Well, here we are. Lester LeSabre has sent in a picture of a 62 Cadillac. So we are going to see those cornering lights down there just behind the headlights. There's some lights right there. When you turn on the turn signal, that floods out light right next to you. And I really like those things. Cadillac did it. Later, Mercury did it. And it kind of went away.
I don't see any curb feelers. When did they come out with curb feelers?
Oh, in the 50s or maybe 40s. I don't know. In the 50s, it seems like every car had them on it. Yeah, post officer. I joke around because it's the post office. So, I don't know what you call the person. A clerk? I don't know. It sounds so bad. So I just go, the post officer. Because if they're in the post office, aren't they an officer? I don't know. Do I salute them? What are you doing? They're an officer.
Mike N says Ford does it with the new Bronco, Big Bend, Outer Banks, Black Diamond, Badlands, Wild Track. Too confusing. It's Rubicon or not a Rubicon with the Jeeps. Yeah. if you know, you know. If you're in the inner circle, you know that, like, oh, but this is the thing. But it is confusing. It's a little bit excessive.
Jack stands in center box says, I live out in the sticks. The UPS, USPS, and Amazon will trade packages at a central location to shorten their. Really? Because we live out too. And they come out here. In fact, one time it's been raining. And our lot is kind of like this. There's not a flat spot anywhere. And the woman came down, and it had been raining. They were raining hard. And there were power lines down across our little road here. So she came down there, and she backed up to try to get out. She backed onto our lawn, which is downhill. And then all that happens is her wheels spin. So we ended up pulling her out. Well, how'd you get her out? With the skid steer or something? I don't remember what you used.
No,
you pulled her out,
we got
though.
some traction material. I think I dug up
put
some gravel
under it
and got some gravel in because it was really soft. And the tires on that van were dangerously.
She had
baloney
skin tires on
a commercial van.
The Amazon delivery vehicle.
I was like, wow.
It's like, you got to be kidding me. No wonder you're stuck. Yeah. Driving around in a pouring rain with no tread on the tires.
Amazon's not making any money, so they can't afford to put tires on vans when they need them.
They can't afford a crash either,
Oh, they have insurance for that.
Curb feelers were added by the dealership, right? I don't know who had them. We had a 56 Ford, and I remember those curb feelers were on there as long as I can remember. I was a little kid, so I was right down there where the curb feelers are, and I remember those things.
Were they just like springy metal things, or did they have like
look it up
feelers? I've seen them, but
I
don't.
They stick out, and when you come up to the curb, they make a noise. They go sing, 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 sing.
Well, you know what they do now?
Oh, they have a camera. I don't know.
No, they just drive up on the curb,
drive into the curb,
and scrape their wheels all off.
Scrape their aluminum wheels all up.
That's what everybody does now. Have you seen aluminum wheels? That's all they do now.
Well, at least the steel wheels made sparks. The aluminum wheels just made gouges.
They don't care. They don't care.
Says none of them came from factory with feelers. Yeah, I don't think so. I used to see them in the auto parts stores. When I was a little kid, there was a Western Auto was an auto parts store, and also they had bicycles and barbecue pits and all kinds of stuff. But I remember going in there when I was a kid with my father and seeing curb feelers. Yeah, they had them.
Dr. Ghost says, I missed the cornering light on my 75 Grand Prix, no longer on vehicles, as I don't think it meets today's DOT standards. Olive says it's grandfathered. Yeah, but I think what he's saying is they stopped putting it on there.
What's that? I missed that. I'm sorry, I was paying attention to an email.
They were really helpful on dark corners. What did it do? When you turned it, did those come on when you turned the steering wheel?
What, the cornering lights?
Yeah.
They came on when you put the turn signal on. If you made it like a right turn signal, it just this big floodlight out there. It was really nice because you could see right there. And they shined down and out, so they didn't blind anybody. You just see the cornering light come on.
Tommy Hanlon asked about what we were rotating for, and we are planting some vegetables, just a garden for us, because fresh vegetables are nice in the summertime. The thing about a garden is right when all the vegetables come up as being ready to eat, they're also on sale, cheap as all heck in the grocery stores. So it almost seems silly, but it's good to grow your own.
Can you make that smaller?
No, that's the size. All right. Can you say abracadabra? Raise it here. Wave the magic wand, and I'll see if I can make it.
Abra. I didn't say abracadabra yet. I only said abra.
You said it 3 times. It's fine. One-eyed cat says curb rash on aluminum slots. Blasphemy, I say.
You know what I want? The Ford. A lot of the Mustangs, Fox body Mustangs, and then of course the car I have those 4-lug wheels, and they're 14-inch steel wheels, and they're kind of narrow and they look funny. I really want a set of slots that has that bolt pattern. Somebody's got to have a set of those.
Terry
Man,
Mott liked baseball cards and the bike spokes. Like baseball, yeah. The Babe Ruth card in the slots or whatever.
you know what's even better is balloons, because cards go, balloons go blah 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 blah. Yeah, most homegrown taste better than store. That's right.
Well, the varieties that you can grow at home, since they don't have to be shipped, they don't have to be like thick skinned and tough enough to handle shipping. So if they can go straight from your garden to your table, you can grow sweeter vegetables, more flavorful stuff that doesn't have the. But you never know what you're going to get. If you just buy the cheap stuff off the shelf, like we bought corn seed at the co-op this year.
Oh, instead of buying cord seed in little packs or Amazon, they came from China. I can't believe the little packs of seeds came from China and they didn't germinate, which
Oh,
means
do you want? I need a boomer chair.
what?
A boomer chair scene where you're just sitting here in the boomer chair, complaining about the seed.
So anyway, this year we went to the farmers co-op and bought seeds there
I like the co-op.
with, you know, kind of bulk buy, but not huge. I said, "Can I buy them in something other than little packs?" And she goes, "Well, we can deliver them if it's 1,000 pounds." I don't want 1,000 pounds of seeds, you know. But they had these big packs that were about the size of like a coffee or something.
Yeah, it looked like a 2 or 5 pound,
So,
4 pound bag.
oh yeah,
of
so
seeds.
that I expect's gonna work, you know.
Yeah. We spent more money on the garden this year than we'll get back in vegetables, but
But you know what? We'll have a nice garden.
well, the other thing is the animals decimate the garden. So if you plant, a lot more than you need, then you'll definitely have as much as you want.
What is this? That third headlight on Studebaker's turn of the steering wheel. You know, I don't
No, that
ever.
was Tucker.
I don't ever remember a third headlight on Studebaker's, but
No.
they had a thing right in the middle that looked like a propeller of an airplane, and it was chrome. They did that in 50 and 51. But the third headlight, yeah, that was like she said, that was on the Tucker, and yes, it did turn.
April Fool's seeds? Yeah, the ones from China that don't grow at all.
All that. I bought a lot of stuff from Amazon, seeds, and it was squash and melons and corn, and nothing germinated. What a that was a terrible year for the garden. That was the year. That was 2 years before you came up.
Yeah, Don
Yeah.
says he likes his sidewalls. And yeah, Wendy was telling us about that you got your wheels
Well,
painted up and ready to go for this year.
He did a video on it.
Yeah.
And I watched that, and I was wishing I could get a set of those with the four lugs. Man, I'm starting to remember things. I'm driving that car around for 4 days now, and I'm able to think about it while I'm driving it. And there's things that are really annoying about the Fairmonts and the Zephyrs. And one of them is when you pull the shoulder strap, there's a thing that it goes through, and that thing pivots. And the way it pivots enough that it jams the belt up, and it folds the belt in half. And I remember having a fuss around with that a lot. And I got really sick of it, and I was thinking, how did I fix that? Well, I remember how I fixed it. I put a roll bar in that car, and I had the straps that came down with the lock that locks over, 3-inch wide racing belts, And so now it's like, oh yeah, gotta make a roll bar and get those kind of straps again, or put up with this. I mean, every time I'm in and out of that car, that seatbelt folds in half and jams, So it's like, yeah, I gotta.
It's pretty terrible.
Got to do something about it. Well, and it's just a bad design, It's just they all do it.
Tommy Hanlon says your pet mice family will love the vegetable garden. Yeah, well, it's not the mice, although it could be mice. I really think it's like
it's the rabbits and the deer.
rabbits and the deer and the raccoons and the possums. Possums eat.
I've had
they're omnivores.
tomato gardens.
Tomatoes,
and they don't touch them.
They destroyed the tomatoes last year.
Well, mine
we didn't get a single tomato.
My raised bed that was over there, which wasn't raised very far, over in front of the shop, the year before you came here, I had so many tomatoes, and they were so good. And when I finally ran out, I went to the store. They were Roma tomatoes. I bought some more at the store, and they were tasteless compared to the ones that came out of the garden. It's like I was really disappointed. And then, but they didn't touch the corn, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. And we've got some fence. We could put fence around there. It's supposed to rain for 4 or 5 days now, so we'll have that. That's going to get watered real well. Two Hacks Jeff is here. Good evening.
All of the cat will definitely discourage mice.
My cat, something happened to the cat. It's almost a year ago. My cat, Powerglide, she just disappeared one morning. I used to feed her every morning at 7, and I went out there about 6:30. She was there, and she'd go off to do her business, and then come back up. She never came back up. And I don't know what happened. Something got her. So that was on, I'll tell you what day it was. It was the 8th of April because it was the same day as the eclipse, the almost full eclipse of the sun. I remember it real well because she just never came back. We got lots of cat food.
We still have canned cat food.
Canned cat food. Got lots of it.
Welcome to the stream. Two Hacks Jeff is here. Says howdy, Buff and Kim. One-eyed cat reminded me that groundhogs. Oh gosh, yeah. They'll nibble all your plants off right at the ground.
What will?
Groundhogs.
Oh yeah,
we've got everything.
I've never seen a groundhog here. I've seen a lot of possums. Well, they come up on the porch. We give them scraps, and they're up there. We had a camera out there for a while, and they'd come up there, and they'd be this far from the camera, and you'd watch them eat, But we never did a video on that. And then, and we did, and raccoons come up, same thing. But I don't remember any, oh, you're going to show baloney skin.
There it is. Just Google search it. Bald.
Who asked about it?
Bald.
Did somebody ask about it?
Bald.
Oh,
same
what
amount
are
of
baloney
traction
skin tires? I'm not familiar with. Well, you know what a baloney looks like. When your tire tread looks like baloney, you got baloney skin tires.
Yeah. When the lines are gone, generally when the lines in the tires are completely worn so it's smooth, that we'll call that a baloney skin. And that means it's got nothing. Because if you get into the slightest bit of water on the road, you'll hydroplane instantly like that. Because the water builds up, there's nothing to, this is no good. They're super. And when they're that worn down, your car has to be wearing the tires perfectly to have no tread the whole way across. It usually isn't that way. There's usually no tread and then, fibers poking through. The steel belting is exposed. Chipmunks digging holes everywhere. Yeah, little gopher holes. They're lovely. It is springtime.
Wow, Jeff, you got turkeys in your yard. No wild turkeys here.
Oh. Turkeys?
Or maybe they're...
Okay, so turkeys, that sounds cute, right? You think Thanksgiving, you made those paper feathers and you glued them onto the big brown turkey, and the turkey has the big gobbly beard and the beak. They're freaking dinosaurs. They're these huge, they got these giant beaks, horrific faces. They are terrifying beasts. And they stand tall. And then they've got a wingspan of 4 or 5 feet. And some turkeys come at you like this.
Ads.
It's like you're in Jurassic Park. I'm not kidding. I have seen flocks of turkeys, 15 turkeys. I had a friend, Jim, and his backyard turkeys would come down. And he would throw food out to them, right? Because it was cool at first. But then they started hanging out at his place. And they'd do that. Anytime anybody came around, they wanted more food. So they'd stalk people. These hideous, nasty, just Anywhere they don't have feathers, they have this really skin that's just terrifying. They're horrible.
Can you switch to 1962 cars again?
No,
Because Buddy Carfano,
I was talking about the
I,
terrifying
I,
birds.
I know, but
I
we've
was
had a Tucker up there
I
for a
was
long time.
releasing my trauma.
I can tell.
Okay.
So, Buddy Carfano,
There you go.
that's another car he sent up, which is 62 Thunderbird.
That's a pretty beautiful car.
I remember these. See, 62s, I was in second grade then, so I was really into cars. And I walked to school about, I don't know, through a neighborhood and a couple of neighborhoods. No major streets. So there were everybody's cars parked along the streets and the driveways. And man, I knew what every one of them was. I knew it every year. If somebody came out of a house, I talked to them about their car. So I knew all the cars. And then anytime we went anywhere, I just begged my father to stop at the Ford car lot. They called it the Big Ford Block, big giant brick building. He didn't really do it, but sometimes he would, and I get to see the cars up close. So
Whistle Pig, isn't that a turbocharged
I'd never heard of a whistle pig till here.
LS powered Chevy truck that was sold by Morsky Repair? They called it the Whistle Pig. That was real recent. That's the one Morsky got arrested in for stealing. Morsky's driving around in a stolen turbocharged truck.
You're kidding me.
Bullet nose T-Bird. Yeah, pretty cool. That's a really cool styling there.
Those are the first ones that had the swing away steering wheel. So you swing the steering wheel away when you get, and it pivoted way down there. Just swing away, get out, and then bring it back, headlock.
One Eye Cat says, "Did you know wild turkeys have no white meat?" I know the flavor is very gamey, because they eat, bugs and bark and all kinds of stuff. They're tough and they're gamey, not like your store-bought turkey. I didn't know they had no white meat though. I'll be darned. Tommy Hanlon says those American wild turkeys have no fear. I seen a video of them chasing a male officer back into his truck. They are no joke. If you were up against a big flock of turkey, you'd be scared. They come at you with their wings up like this. They're these big, intimidating things. It's not like, you think a little turkey. No, they're like this big, they're bigger than a hawk, bigger than a, I don't know. I think a bear would be scarier, or maybe a wolf or something like that. A bunch of them birds with those big wings.
You ever think we're really lucky to have some of the animals the size they are? Imagine if like a bee or a wasp was like the size of a cow. That'd be a really nasty animal. Oh, and I got stung by one that was a little one. It was hurt. This finger.
Oh, he stung.
This finger. This is the third day. It's still swollen a little bit. There's a little bit of red, but it is getting better. I was. Yeah, maybe you can find a
groundhog is called a whistle pig. I did not know.
Paper wasp.
That's a pretty car.
Bring up a paper
I
wasp.
will. I'll find
We
you.
got these things all over our property, and I've been here for 19 years. And you know what? I finally got stung by one.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, paper wasp is what they're called. I didn't know what they were called till I got stung. I had to.
It's this one over here.
Which one?
Up in Pittsburgh, we had the dark ones, but here we have these red ones.
Those ones. I got stung by one of those guys. I was sweeping up the shop. We pulled the car out, and I was cleaning up the shop. I was cleaning up the shop, sweeping everything. There was a paper towel on the floor that we'd been wiping our hands or something on. Dirty paper towel. So I reached down and picked it up. I was going to throw it in the trash. But so it's like there was a piece of metal or something in it that stuck me, and it was really sharp. And I thought, that's strange. And I looked down. There was one of those things, one of those wasps, and he's just stinging me. I go, yeah! And they don't lose their stingers. Their stingers are not barbed, so they can sting over and over again, and they don't pull the stinger out of their body, so they can sting you over and over again.
Yeah, this red paper wasp right above me, that's the kind that we have in the garage.
We
got a bunch of them.
That thing was, and they fly around with their legs
There's
hanging
always
down.
a couple of them flying around in
They
the
look
garage.
like they got their landing gear down. And so Yeah, he got me. And
Yeah, and
that
then
was a nasty sting. In 3 days, that thing was swollen hard as a rock, you know?
they call them paper wasps because they make nests like this.
Yeah,
They
they
look
look
like
like paper.
paper. They don't make the big wasps that turn into a big thing.
Mud
That's
daubers. Yeah, they're not mud
no, no,
daubers.
no, no. Mud daubers are a whole different thing.
Okay.
But there's the paper nests that are like round, like a big
Oh,
thing. These ones don't enclose their nests. They just build like up under an awning. We have them in the roof, and then they like to build nests in the corners of like under the doors, up under the fenders of cars. A lot of times you'll get them, and you don't know why. When you open your door, there's wasps flying around. It's because they build their nest right there up in the doors. I think a lot of people have had to
Jack.
deal with wasps.
Jack stands at cinder blocks. My dad goes by Grandpa. Mom goes by Gigi. Now we just found out myself and Mrs. Jack stands are going to be grandparents soon. I never thought that would happen. You know what?
Congratulations.
My grandkids are both adults. One of them's 24.
They don't seem ready to
One
settle
of them's
down and have
24,
kids, though.
and the other one is 18. So the 24-year-old's already graduated from university, and
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have
He
any great,
doesn't seem motivated to start a family.
no great
though. He's still
grandkids
working
yet.
on his career,
Yeah,
and
but it's just, and
yeah,
then the other son has
they're
like
good kids.
little baby girls. They're like one of them's 2, and the other one's like not even 1 yet. So
Oh, that's true.
so
Yeah.
little grandkids, but the other son has got big grandkids. I can't believe it. My grandkids are adults.
They are.
Holy
Yeah.
crap! They call me grandpa. I'm like, grandpa. Who they talking
No,
to? Oh, that's me.
your grandpa. A nice thing about mud daubers is they do battle against aggressive wasps for you. Really, they fight for territory.
The only thing we have.
The mud wasps don't seem aggressive at all. They're just looking for a place to live. But
I
man,
don't
they
think we
make such
have
a
any.
mess. What's
All,
that?
the mud dauber nests we have were all stuck to my car when we bought it. They came from Texas, but there were no animals in it. They
Oh,
were
we
just old
absolutely
dry.
have mud daubers here.
Oh,
They're
do we?
just
Okay.
yeah, you don't notice them. They look a lot like the red wasps. They're a
Mm.
little skinnier and black, but what are we talking about? I guess because they're automotive adjacent. If you have old cars, you got wasps. You got them.
They're in our shop of
You
all
better know
places.
that you got them.
Oh, and there's a place out here, the awning, that big roof we have over the porch. There's a place in there where in the summertime they start coming in and out of there, but they don't seem to bother us. But I don't really like them there. Imports, yeah. Th- This is another one Buddy Carfano sent in. 62 Ford Falcon. This is just a little light duty car that, man, they were all over the place.
Yeah, that's like a mom and pop grocery getter, ain't it? I'll
And
bet
you
you
know
there's
what? You
not
know what
too many
engines they had?
around because people just didn't think anything of them.
They had a 144 6-cylinder 170, and somewhere in there they got the 200, which is the same engine I have in my 78 Mercury. I open the hood and it looks just like 1960 all over again. It's
And
pretty
that
cool.
engine was the same for all those years, except Ford changed the transmission bell housing 65 times.
Yeah, Ford's bad about
Fun
that.
to know. 3 times per model year, Ford has to change the transmission bell housing.
Oh,
That's law. It's the law. That's how they do
I was
it.
telling Kim I got that small black Chevy in there. That's the engine I should put in that
Every car gets a different bell housing.
in that Zephyr. Like
Put the 200 in the Studebaker?
yeah, so like a year from now, when I finally get tired of the 6-cylinder, drop that 350 Chevy in there. It'd go right in, you know. We could build mounts. But I don't know. I don't know if I really want to do that Ford product or not.
I don't
I've
know.
done it before. I did it with the Cougar, and the Cougar was a much tougher swap because it had those big, had the springs up
It'll
on
be
top. And,
bi-gendered or something like that.
Oh,
If you put a
geez.
Chevy engine in a Ford, you don't want to do that. I think it's against the law in Tennessee, at least.
nobody will know the hood will be closed.
Oh, I see how it is. It's stealth.
Um,
It's like putting an LS in a Ford.
Yeah, also many of those got survived as many of those survived as granny cars. You know, that's kind of what happened with my Zephyr. That thing, it was one owner until the last guy that got it. He didn't have it very long, but it was a car that was kept indoors by some older person, and they didn't put a lot of miles on it, and they kept it indoors. So it's a pretty nice car.
Yeah, I think my Dart is one of those sort of granny cars.
Yours was taken care of until the people at the restaurant got it, and it was a sign out in front of a Cuban restaurant for quite a few years. Just sat there.
I think they pretty much used it up, and the Cuban restaurant just dolled it up a little bit
And
and
they parked
stuck
it
it
there.
there. Yeah, because it needed everything. Somebody used it a lot. I think it had 100,000 miles or more on it. It was the whole drivetrain has been replaced at this point. Jack Stans said his dad had a white Falcon, like that one. Yeah, I like the green in that.
Yeah, I mean, those things are just all. When I was a kid, those things were just everywhere. Neighbors had you look down the street, like we lived on a real long. They weren't like blocks. It was just a big long street that ended, and there was railroad tracks down there. But you go down the street, and there are always a couple of Falcons in driveways,
See, it's a shame
and Volkswagens.
that we can't build American cars like that anymore. There's just not much to it. The 200 inline six, durable engine, easily get 100 150,000 miles out of it. Simple, not real powerful or anything like that. Just something to get you into town or to the grocery store or whatever. Not everybody needs a giant truck or a super sports car. Just a regular mom and popper. Take the kids to school. Soccer practice, that kind of stuff. I don't know. I guess they'd have to do some stuff to make it safer. It's probably not the most safest car ever, and it doesn't look like is there turn signals?
Look at this 2X. Casey J1, I guess that's Jeff 1 is 71. That's my age. J2 is 45. That's him. J3 is 16. J4 better not come for a while. Because it's 16, yeah.
It could be
So,
sooner or later.
wow, your father is my age. Man, I can't believe how old I am. Let's see here, Buff. Don't you have a C6 Corvette? No, I had a C4 Corvette. And I got tired. Yeah, I got tired of the headlights that they flip around. And, they fail a lot because they were old. And I finally put a set of, I bought a kit that put some other lights in it.
Projector lights.
Yeah, but they were, what an awesome set of lights those were, because they had a real nice cutoff. So it didn't blind people coming the other way. And when you turn the high beams on, man, you just like, stadium light. It was amazing.
Dr. Go said her 66 Chrysler wagon got rear-ended by a Ford Falcon. It looked like that, and it was the back facing... Oh, Dr. Go was in the back facing forward and saw it... No, in the back facing back and saw it coming. Big Chrysler for the win. Tore up that Ford fender and grill. Yeah, I'll bet it.
That must have been fun. Watch a car crash into you.
I'm glad you were in a vehicle that was able to protect you. Jack Stands in Cinderblock says, started raining, but I got a couple of quick projects done during the chat. I let the phone within earshot. Well, thanks for hanging out with us like that.
Who is this? Who is this?
Sorry you don't get to see as many of the pictures, but...
Yeah, 2X says, Buff. J1 was born November of 53. See, and I was born in February of 54. So, yeah, we're pretty darn close. Wow.
Jeff, you're young. You're young Jeff. He seemed like it didn't seem like he had starting a family on his mind. There's some kids that's where he seemed like he was. I think he'll be okay. I think you're raising him right. He seemed like a good kid.
I just put up my Corvette because there's a question about it. It's much newer than the cars were, but it's just a car. And there's the headlights I put in it because I got tired of
Oh,
being
you
along.
found that picture right away.
Yeah, because I knew where it was.
Cool.
So that's what it looked like. And yeah, I kind of like those just because I didn't have to mess with them anymore and they work so darn well. Terry Mott says 62 Dart or Plymouth Fury were very unique looking. Yeah, that's what I started off tonight with, was the 62 Dodge.
Steve Edwards
Where's
mentioned a 62
Ranchero.
Ranchero with a 260 V8. That's what he wants. That's a good looking pickup truck. What do they call that type of?
Ranchero?
Is there a name for the El Camino Ranchero style?
Not
No,
really,
you have
unless
to.
you're in Australia, it's a Ute. But up here, they never adopted
They
that
never
name.
coined a terminology. It was always brand specific. Which do you like better? Do you like the Ford, or do you like the Chevy?
Of what, the both of them?
The Ranchero.
Well, I had a 57 Ranchero for a while, and then I had a 72 El Camino for a while, and I liked both of them.
You know what? That Ranchero reminds me more of the Australian Chrysler Ute because it looks like it uses the four-door door.
I'm not sure if it does or not.
It sure doesn't look like the big
No,
door.
that could be the short door. I'm not sure.
It's the short door.
Dr. Art's here. Hey, good evening.
Welcome to the stream, Dr. Art.
So,
Glad you made it in. Send us a picture, Dr. Art. How's the project going? I watched not this most recent one, but the one before where you looked over the Barracuda, and I was really surprised. I did not realize when Tony bought it that car was in need of quite a bit of rust restoration.
which car
I just
was this?
assumed. Dr. Art bought a Barracuda.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I
off of Tony.
Yeah, I know the
And
one you mean.
I was really surprised. I just figured since it was from Tennessee, or that it was a Tennessee car, that it would be very minimal rust. I was surprised how
Tennessee
expensive
is
it
a mixed bag. Sometimes it just depends on where the car was kept and everything. It's not like up in the Northeast where it doesn't matter. Every car's rusty because of all the salt. But here, I think it depends on where you drive. If you get a couple of salty winters,
Jeff says he's trying, and he also has a daughter who is almost 20.
Oh, man. Dr. Art says, no, it looks like it was in a field with grass up to the floor pans for many, many years.
Oh.
Yep, and that happens. That's why I'm worried a little bit about the Studebaker, because we let it sit outside one winter, and the grass grew up under it.
One winter.
Yeah, I know, but...
I think it already has patch pans in the floors.
The Studebaker?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It does.
That was an Arizona, dried out Arizona car.
You've never looked at that car very hard, have you?
I don't think it does. I think the Valiant has a hole that we... You know what we got to find is that patch that I cut for the...
Oh, I know what the patch is.
Oh, you do? Okay, because we got to weld that in the Valiant. That's got to be one of the
we've
next
had
thing.
other projects. Right now, we're still trying to get your daily driver up to standard. We got to fix the exhaust, and we've got to fix the accelerator pump and the carburetor and the choke. Get that situation rectified so it starts easy in the morning. And then what's the next? We have some marker lights and whatnot.
There's some lights that don't work right. During the daytime, everything works right. At night, only when you turn the headlights on, only one side lights up. So there's probably some burned out bulbs. And then, you turn the high beams on, lights go, one light goes out, the other one comes on, It needs a bunch of light bulbs. And it needs a new flasher, because the flasher's like Wait.
Oh,
Wait.
we'll have to get you
That
some.
needs a flasher.
We'll have to get you one of those
So,
aftermarket flashers that doesn't care about the light bulbs.
right.
Because we're going to put some LEDs in. And all you have to do is run a ground.
There
for the
is a
flasher.
flasher with a ground wire coming off of it
Yeah,
instead
a
of the
3-wire flasher will always flash at the same pace.
So,
that's what you need.
I'll just order one of those. Then if I put LEDs in something, it'll work fine. And I kind of like the LEDs in the turn signals because they're bright and they're noticeable. And you know, today's cars are brighter lights, and I think it's kind of expected that you have bright lights.
Space Cat.
Good evening. So let's see, what else do we have?
Well, Dr. Art, if it's just from sitting in a field, the good thing is the rust will be contained to the bottom. Like you'll be able to weld to the rockers and whatnot, probably. I hope it's workable. And it seemed like the drivetrain. Tony surely had the drivetrain working out okay.
Raw Dogs here want to see a BMW 700 Sport.
I will look one up. Is that such a thing?
Gearhead 6971. What did I miss?
Gearhead?
You missed an hour and 15 minutes.
Which is hardly nothing. It's mostly
we're just showing some pictures and talking about stuff.
We talked about a lot of cars already.
We talked about a lot of cars, and we talked about our cars. We have not shown any Corvairs yet. Yeah, I got stung by a wasp, so we had a whole thing about wasps.
Talked about the mud wasps. Here's the BMW 70. I did not know BMW had American cars in '62.
None of them are American cars. You mean they were imported here? I don't know if those came here or not. Maybe somebody brought some in.
Oh, I don't know.
That's a funny looking little car for BMW. Man.
That's an early one. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, everyone. We're not that boring. I'm boring myself.
62 Impala 409 is what Gearhead wants to see. Oh, you got to leave?
I'm gonna bring up your screen, and you're gonna talk about the car that you have for a moment.
Okay, and Kim's got to go get more coffee.
Yeah, I can't be yawning in the middle of stream. It's way too early.
Buddy Carafano sent in this 62 Lincoln Continental. I remember those for a while. Nice big cars with suicide doors in the back. And I remember those were pretty nice cars. They were kind of heavy and complicated. I've done brake jobs on those before, like when I worked at brake shop in the 70s. So they were like 10-year-old cars. Brakes seemed quite complicated compared to and the wheels were heavy. I remember sitting there, boom, taking the wheels and tires off. But I remember it being pretty nice cars. Patrick Sullivan, did my 61 Chevy get shown? Yes, it did, quite a while ago. I can try to bring it back again. Let's see, where is it? Oh, let's see what I can find. I'm trying to find my cursor. Oh, I'll bring it back. But she's got it so big, I don't know how to shrink it down, but there it is. She'll shrink it down when she gets back. My grandmother had a 61 Chevy, but it was not a hardtop. It had the post, it had that big wide window in the back. And hers was a 6-cylinder Power Glide. Oh, excuse me.
You gotta learn to not be intimidated.
I don't know how to shrink that back
click
down.
Around a little bit. Look, here's you and me in the screen.
Patrick Sullivan was asking if
these three up here, it's always one of these.
Patrick Sullivan was asking if his 61 Chevy had been shown, or one just like his.
Oh.
And I had, but
But he wasn't here.
He probably wasn't here. So now he's here, and now we show it again.
Good deal, good deal.
Biscayne. The one my grandmother had, it had the post and that big window in the back, but it was an Impala. It had the 3 taillights on each side. So I thought it was a pretty nice car. And the 61 Chevy Impala had a steering wheel that I thought looked really good. But it had a 6-cylinder. It had a 235 with a power glide. But I remember when she moved from New York to California in 1961. I knew she bought a new car, and I thought it was a 60 Chevy that had those big fins on the back. I couldn't wait to see that thing. As she got there, I was disappointed it was a 61. It was brand new. But it was okay. And then I wanted to see under the hood, and she's like, I don't know, little kid wants to look at her engine, you know. So she let my father open the hood, and I looked at it. It was a big, long 6-cylinder, and I was sort of disappointed the whole thing. So, yeah, Patrick Sullivan, 5-foot hole in the side, both windows down. Yep. Yeah, and we were talking about that earlier, hard tops without a post. So many cars then were hard tops. Oh, you brought one of my wipers in.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that we did this week. We put wipers on his car. It was in addition to repairing the whole linkage and everything, we put wipers on it. And it works good, doesn't it?
See,
works good.
That's what you do. Wrap duct tape, and that's a blue duct tape.
No.
Gray duct tape. It's really showing up quite blue, and it's light gray. It's light gray. But the reason is because there's metal there, and I didn't want it scraping the window up, and I had to drive the car in the rain, so it had a duct tape spot on it. But now it's got new wipers. It's really nice.
Welcome back, Hippie Long. Thanks for coming back. People, you don't have to come back. If you're busy,
well, yeah, come back.
I mean, you're always welcome to come back. But if you're busy and you can't come, we understand.
And then last week, I want to catch up on something that happened last week. And that is, who is this? Who sent this in?
I don't know.
Our Ward. Who's our Ward?
I don't know.
I know. I think.
I'll try and be
Ron Ward? Or
Ron. Oh, yeah, Ron.
Okay.
He's the announcer for the No Name
Yeah, that's what I thought. So anyway, he sent a picture in last week that I still haven't shown because it came in late or something. Anyway, he was talking about Wombat motorcycles. So that is it. So I wanted to bring it in. I mean, it's kind of a follow-up from last week, but at least everybody gets to see what the Wombat is. I think that's a really cool name.
Yeah, that's a nice little dirt bike. Any kid would be proud to own themselves a Wombat.
Oh, you know
knobby
that.
tires,
you know
chrome gas tank.
You know how fun that would be in our yard.
Oh man,
so,
you'd be out there. You're ripping up the grass.
You can ride around the yard as long as you're not like doing donuts in my grass. Man, she go out there and just tear up the yard because she's having fun. I'm like, stop.
It's good content. Everybody loves when
it's good content when I tear things up.
They love it. They love it.
Hippie Long says
Saturday. Wow,
Saturday.
That's a long Amazon delivery.
It said Saturday last week.
Thank you, Hippie Long.
It was not painter's tape. It was
It's actually
it's light gray duct tape. I'll tell you what it is. It's 3M 8979. And what's really good about 3M,
by
3M, and not a sponsor, 3M 8979 duct tape, they guarantee it for 6 months out in the sun. You can peel it off, doesn't leave any residue.
It doesn't mess stuff up. Like
and
you would expect.
I used to tape stuff on the side of airplanes that were going fast. And like we'd tape a wiring harness on the outside of an airplane with it. And then the airplane would be sitting around for months with that wiring harness on it, out in the desert, 120 degrees. And we just pull it off, never any residue. So when I buy duct tape, now that's all I buy. And they have a couple of different colors. The light gray seems to be one that I get.
Boy, if you needed to...
What are you doing?
Whack somebody? This would really sting.
Keep that in your purse.
I might.
Nobody will think it's a weapon till you whack somebody with it.
I might just put that in my party bag.
Hippie Long had a Hidaka 90 in 75. Buddy had one. I bought it for $35. That's the kind of vehicles I like. A
Oh, I had
35.
somebody give me a Kawasaki 185 in a bucket. A 5-gallon bucket. Like, I got this motorcycle. You want it? And of course, I was like, yeah.
What did they do? They re-kitted it?
I don't know what they did. I did get it running, though. I don't know why they took it all apart. It took me like 2 years to get it all running, though. I'm parting with it.
Javi Macias.
Get a room.
Good evening. On that Iwo Jima monument in the back, the one spiking the flagpole on the ground is Harlan Block. He was from Westlaco, Texas, our neighboring town. Well, that's pretty cool. I don't know where that is. We brought it up because somebody sent in the picture of the 61
We
Chevy.
were looking at the car. We didn't even realize.
But I knew it was there, but I didn't really think about it very much.
Thank you for pointing that out, because honestly, I didn't even recognize that they were in front of that monument and the significance of that photo.
Oh, yeah, Gearhead says, Gorilla Black duct tape ain't coming up. We have a roll of that, too.
Oh, that stuff leaves a lot of residue,
but
and it makes a mess.
I use that if it's something that has to stay, and I don't care about ever pulling it off. My Corvette was the metal stripper on the window was blacked out, but there was a place where the black was missing, and it looked like chrome right there. And I cut a piece of black Gorilla tape, and I put it there, and it was there for 10 years, covering up that little place where the paint was missing. Never came off. Never. You didn't even see it. You come up close, I use that brown gaffer tape for temporary purposes where you might otherwise want duct tape. I'm not sure what that is. It's all hippie long. I use gaff tape every day. Duct tape has issues. Well, yeah, cheap duct tape leaves all kind of strings and goo and mess. And it'll do it in minutes. It'll really make a mess.
Check this out. Okay, this is a Lincoln Continental 62. Look how different the styling on a Ferrari for that year is. It's insane. Raw Dog brought up the Ferrari, and let's just...
Yeah, it's really something, isn't it?
That Ferrari is fantastic.
They made a kit. They went on to a 240Z that had body panels. Yeah, it didn't look quite this good, but it had that same kind of look.
That's an amazing looking car.
Space Cat says 3M painter's tape is pretty good, usually blue or green. What's that right there?
Painter's tape. I think this is probably just... Oh, it is 3M.
Right here.
It's old, though. Fresh 3M, tape makes a difference.
3M, we have several rolls of this stuff around. This is good for taping off some stuff because it comes off. Well, it never would work on a windshield wiper. It'd just shred that, come right off in the water. But the green stuff I really like. What's the green? That green painter kind of tape.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Frog something.
Frog tape, yeah.
Frog tape, yeah. I've used that stuff. That thing is pretty good.
Yeah. Somebody said use glow in the dark paint to mark the corners of furniture. Jack says that'd be so you could see what you kicked. In his case, because he kicks everything and then he knows.
I wear flip flops that are a little bit long so I can stub my toe with the flip flops and not hurt my feet. Or big old clawed upper shoes, but I trip over everything and I get my feet caught in hoses and cords in the shop and I rip stuff off tables. I just one of those
yelling across your.
I'm one of those people that just stubs his toes into everything. So the other night, for some reason, I didn't have the flip-flops on. I just had my socks on. I went to the bathroom. I didn't even get out of the bedroom, and I smashed my toes into something. It's like, man, why didn't I wear shoes? Because I hurt myself. Yeah, I run my feet into everything. Don't know why. I'm just clumsy.
The green painter's tape now does what the blue stuff used to do for actual painting. Yeah. The blue stuff is masking tape now. It used to be brown masking tape. Now it's blue masking tape.
But this stuff comes off. Sometimes the brown stuff doesn't come off nice.
It depends. If you buy the brand name, it probably does. If it's fresh, it probably does. I remember those old rolls of brown masking tape. There was, you'd peel like a little piece off because they just would always stick to themselves and everything.
I think it's Hobby his Westlaco. I don't know how I'm pronouncing that right.
Wislaco, Texas? That
Texas.
sounds right.
It's in the Rio Grande Valley, about 10 miles just north of the border town of Progreso. Progreso, Mexico. I know that town. That's where I used to go buy my meds. Walk across the bridge. Nice little town, and walk back across the bridge and have all my meds. Green painter's tape now does. Can you bring up, just for the fun of it, bring up frog tape?
Okay.
Because it comes in a little round container that's kind of cool. And I use this stuff. And then if I want real fine lines, I just use black electrical tape for, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Look at all this advertising propaganda.
Oh, it's just not a sponsor. It's just kind of funny sounding stuff, but I've used that a lot, and it's a little on the pricey side.
That's for taping.
Oh, look, they got yellow too. I didn't know they had yellow.
What's the yellow for?
And then they have they have blue like this as well. Huh. But I bought that green stuff before, and it works fairly well, but it's a little pricey. But it has a little crisper line than the 3M.
Yeah.
Blue tape, but if you want a crisp line, just use electrical tape. And electrical tape, you can stretch it so you can make a curve with it pretty nicely. I've done that a lot. Thing with the electrical tape, if you stretch it too tight, it'll kind of peel up a little bit. So you got to be kind of careful with it. Look at that. They also have all these different colors. Oh, look at that. That's from the UK. It's 12 pounds 54, which means it's UK money. So I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to be on here being
talking about tape. It's
well,
automotive adjacent.
There's the frog.
Fine.
There's a dispenser for it. That's pretty funny.
It's an Etsy thing.
With a razor blade on his tongue.
Silliness.
And Luis Miguel Suarez Barrios. April Fools. Yeah, you're right. April Fools. I even put up a short this morning that had April Fools on it. But there's nothing foolish about it. I just drove my car somewhere and made a video.
I'm going to look up a Lamborghini that Raw Dog mentioned.
And Dr. Go says he's heading out. Good to hear from everyone. Always good product info and experience from the group. All right, all. Good night, Dr. Go. Thanks for stopping by.
We try and be
And Sean O'Brien's here. Dr. Go's leaving, hey, Sean O'Brien showing up. Hey, everyone. Finally got my camshaft timing dowel in the mail last night. Now only thing left is swapping the springs, but might be a struggle with the head still on the car. Yeah.
So which method are you going to use? There's multiple methods for taking springs off when it's on the car. You can fill the cylinder up with rope so that the valves can't drop. You can use compression in the cylinder to hold the valves closed, and that's actually pretty effective. Like if you have 100 psi on a valve, that's 100 pounds of push. If the valve is an inch of a square inch of surface space, so I mean it can work pretty good. The problem is depending on your rings, how much blow by there is on your rings, you may have to use a lot of air to hold that up. What's your plan? I'm curious.
What's going on with this 62? Rodog keeps asking for a 62 Lamborghini.
It's a Lamborghini.
See that one there? That was the first Lamborghini I ever drove. That one just above your head.
Yeah.
400 GT. They brought it in for something, and I think I set the toe on it or something, and then I drove it. It's like, man, I'm driving a Lamborghini. But by then the mirror was out and everything, so that was like I'd never even seen one of those at the time. It was all leather inside and everything. It was like, oh, it's a Lamborghini. But I really wanted to drive the Miura, not that. But I drove it. Didn't drive it very far. Just make sure the steering wheel is straight. Tighten up the toe.
Jack Stands and Cinderblock says, I have done a video on spring swaps with the heads on. There you go. Maybe Sean O'Brien, maybe check out Jack Stands and Cinderblocks. Hey, look.
What's this Jack Stands says? I should have done an April Fool's video today, Buff. Your shorts are on point. Man, my shorts, sometimes I just do something. If Kim's doing the video work, which is usually, she'll maybe do it over 3 or 4 times, and because she'll say that's, this is better, and okay. But sometimes I put one up and it's like, I really put some time in it. And I think it's good, and it gets like 200 views. And then I'll do another one that I don't think's worth a darn. Yeah, I'll get 4,200 views or 36,000 or something. It's like, what? So you just never know what's going to happen. And have no fear, the Dougster is temporarily here.
Potato!
We're only going to have temporarily have no fear. Oh, says I love that old front engine Lambos. You know what I like better than I almost like them better than the Lamborghini that looks like that is the Volvo that kind of looks like that little wagon like in 1973. What is that thing called? We've talked about it on here before. I think that's a better looking car than Lamborghini is. Yeah, Frog Eyes on the 62 Lambo.
Yeah, that's kind of cool though. We were talking about frog tape, and then we bring up the frog-eyed Lambo.
Sean O'Brien says, I have a tube that's spark plug thread, other end air hose thread. I just need a male connector and a much bigger tank than my little 1 gallon. I have 175 psi compression test. So that way that'll keep the valves from going down.
So if you want to get the most, if you don't have a lot of tank or a lot of compressor, you want to make it the easiest you can possibly make it on yourself, you probably want to turn the engine so that the piston is at the top of the stroke before you pressurize it, so that it's the smallest volume of chamber to keep pressurized.
But if you don't get it just right, it's just going to force the piston down. I've done that before too.
Oh.
So I've had somebody holding the fan about take their hand off when I pressurize it.
Really?
Well, it wasn't even a fan. It was a propeller. Hold the propeller.
Start
putting the air to it, and man, all of a sudden the propeller turns it everything you got to keep it from going.
Ooh.
Let's see here. All it says was Jay's Maserati 3500, a 62. My favorite thing he has. You're thinking of the 1800 ES. Yes. Man, I remember 1973, my first year in the Air Force. I was in school up there, living near where Jeff from Two Hacks lives now. And I went down to some friends one night down to, here I am, can't remember names. Can't pull it up. Anyway, just south of the city. Went down there, and there's a Volvo dealer, and they had a line of those brand new 1800 ES wagons. And I thought that was just one of the coolest cars I ever saw. It was in Champaign, Illinois. And man, I remember those things brand new under the fluorescent lights. They just looked so good. But I never had one. Jack Stand center blocks. We're all over the place. I need to host a live stream soon. It's been over a year for me. Sean O'Brien says, great tip. Oh, P 1800 ES. Yeah, that's right. I knew that didn't sound quite right. P 1800 ES. Sean O'Brien, and keeps from roping the valve too.
See, dropping, he meant keeps from dropping the valve too. The other thing you could do, right, if you're having problems with air pressure, right, you can get some rope and just feed it into the, crank it so it's down, the piston's down, feed the rope in there, right, and then turn it so that the piston comes up and starts to squeeze that rope. And you'll feel it when it starts to get tight and the rope is compressed sort of in there. Obviously, you don't want to damage the engine by overdoing it. You don't want to turn it with the starter. But once the rope is up and holding the valves, they can't drop out. And you should be able to change out the springs with a spring taker apart or a thing.
A spring taker apart?
Yeah.
Tell us, Snap-on, dealer. You want a spring taker
I need a
aparter.
spring taker aparter thing. And be careful that you don't lose any of them keepers if you've got the so if you're working on top of an engine, those little keepers are easy to drop. Get a magnet for keepers. You want a magnet.
He says my favorite car was a '69 Dodge Charger. I really like the '68 because it doesn't have that divider in the middle. It had the two little taillights on each side. '69 is pretty good too, same body. But really over the years, I've kind of changed my mind. My favorite Chrysler products were probably the '67, '68, and '69 Barracuda, the long fastback one. I think that's just what a great looking car. The Charger's pretty good too. Of course, the Charger's a B body, so it's a more substantial car. But
how are we doing with viewer submissions tonight?
well, I'm looking. I'm pulling them up. I got one pulled up here, and we got to swap to it at some point.
I was just curious if we had a lot of them, or what's it look like tonight? Sometimes we have tons. I mean, tons of stuff, and other times it's.
This is Buddy Carafano sending a bunch of '62s. This is a Corvette.
That's a beautiful Corvette.
You know that would be fun. Although somebody put wide white walls on it by '62, that was pretty much over. The last wide white walls I saw in a new car were 1960. '61, they started coming to the narrower white stripe. But people who weren't there then don't know that, and a lot of times they have newer cars in 1960 and they put the wide white walls on them, which is not correct, but I guess it looks okay. Sean O'Brien says magnets are one of the best tools in the toolbox. Yeah, we always use magnets for stuff.
Yeah, when you're using steel, it's very useful.
Oh,
welding, assembly, disassembly.
They're exactly 90 degrees. Recovery. We have other ones that you recover stuff with them. We have magnets on a flashlight, so you can stick the little LED flashlight on something and it shines the light. Yeah, so many good things.
Jack stands in cinder blocks. Can I share the video of the spring swap on here? I would love it if you could. But
where's this? Who asked this?
Right in the middle. Jack stands in cinder blocks.
Oh, can I share the video? Yeah, send it to my. How long is the video? How big is it? If it's not.
Well, no, it's on his YouTube.
Oh.
So he wants to share a link, but we don't have a moderator right now.
We don't have a moderator. Well,
without a moderator, it's sort of hard to do.
Email.
You keep talking. I'll find Jack stands in cinder blocks.
Okay, and you can put it up.
I will find it and put it up because
and we have ads, so it's a good time.
Absolutely do that for our people. We want everybody to have. Yeah, I'm gonna find it here. Okay, go ahead and talk about something else while I.
Well, there's ads, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut for a minute, or not a minute, 15 seconds or so.
We were talking about cinder blocks on a live stream the other night. The difference between cinder blocks and concrete blocks.
Okay, let's see. Maybe the ads are done. Raw Dog says 196 Ford Galaxy. Oh, he probably means a 1962 Ford Galaxy. He likes us to show pictures of stuff, but we will get to it. It's going to be a few minutes.
I think I'll get there pretty quickly. He says it was like about a year ago. I got to scroll back a little ways.
Buddy Carafano got a Speedway motor ad. Kim.
Oh, you get 2 points for ads. Titleist is a advertiser. You get 2 points for that too. Everybody who got an advertisement and calls it out in Miller Welder's ad, you get 2 points. Everybody who calls out their ad. It's about 7 years old, so you're gonna have to scroll for a while. Okay.
Miller Welder's ad. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's right on point.
He's been making a lot of videos.
Got a lot of videos up
down
there.
3 years, 6 years. Okay. I'm down to the end, so now I just start scrolling. How to swap valve springs without removing the head.
Okay, so
I'll put it up there.
It's short. It's short video, minute 51 seconds.
If you guys are not subscribed to Jack Stands and Cinder Blocks, you ought to check them out.
So
just check them out. It's no big deal.
I got a vaping ad. Raw Dog 420.
Don't vape. It's bad for you. I'm not even going to endorse that.
Okay, so there is the link to Jack Stan's center blocks um, valve
Amsoil ad. He has a big. He loves
Amsoil
Amsoil.
is good stuff. Luis, it's a 59 core. No, that's not a 59. That's a 62.
How different is a 59 from the 62?
59's got
I'm gonna
different
find a
different
picture.
taillights that are in the fender, and the front of the 59 has those big teeth, the grill with the big teeth. But it's still a C1 Corvette. It's still basically the same.
It's just styling differences mostly, huh?
Yeah. So
Oh, let me get images. It'll give me some different images. Oh, I see.
yeah,
That's a little different.
yeah. So
Okay, I'm gonna go to the 59. You'll be able to see there's a little different.
yeah. See, the 59 has that grill. I really prefer the 59 because I like that grill, and I like the taillights that are up in the fenders. So
Some of the trim is a little different, but it's the same car overall.
yeah, I mean they're both nice cars to drive. My favorite of all the Corvettes is probably the 63 through 67. You know, that's a C2 Corvette, was a 63 through 7.
Jack Stands and Cinderblock says, I didn't know how to edit it, so we did several takes till I got it all done in one take. You know, there's a lot of YouTubers who do that. They don't want to edit, so they are very particular. I know Uncle Tony is that way. He doesn't like to have any edits, but he'll take a couple little edits. But if he can't get it done in one breath, he doesn't want to do it. And then I know he's learned really well for shorts how to get it in.
We do not edit shorts. We just don't.
We did for a little while.
We did for a little while.
And it was a ton of work.
I could spend 4 hours making a 30-second video.
Yeah.
And if you get the video right, or if you don't get it right, you just retake another 30 seconds. You know, so what? But Kim and I have been talking about we got to start putting up some more long form videos. And I said, you know what? We do not want to do the editing because you spend 8 to 10 hours editing a video that's 11 minutes long.
That video that I just put out was probably 4 to 6 hours of editing.
That one, yeah, she just put it up.
I spent all morning working on it. I woke up early and I worked on it until early afternoon.
That was the one about me painting interior parts.
Yeah.
Simple little video.
We did just put up a video this week, if anybody didn't notice.
It's simple little video, but she had hours and hours and hours in trying to make it right.
11-minute video, yeah.
Louis says 30 seconds. Yeah, my shorts are usually between 30 seconds and a minute. I try not to drive it out to all the way to a minute because people that are watching shorts, they just don't stick with it. If I do a 45-second short, most people watch it all the way through. So my shorts, I do a short every day, and I don't edit them. They're just whatever you get, you get.
Oh, there was definitely a learning curve, and we had to recognize that, we might get a couple hundred views. Like, we absolutely have to make the best content we can possibly make, but we also can't spend all day working on a 1-minute video unless there might be situations where we could, but we can't do it every day.
Buddy Carfano sent that in. Wow, that's a 62 Pontiac, but it's somebody could make that into a good car.
Look at that Pantina.
Pantina, yeah.
It's got all the Pantinas.
And it's for foul language. Yeah, like when you smack your hand with a hammer or something. You know what it is? It's just trying to make it all flow. If you've got like 4 hours worth of little clips of working on something, and you want to make a 11, 12, 13, 14-minute video, you got to crop it down and put the good stuff in. You can't have all the rifling through the toolbox looking for a tool that somebody left on a floor over there. That just makes terrible video. So when you get the tool in your hand, you cut that part out, And working in a shop, man, there's a lot of going to get stuff and bending over and pick things up, and somebody showing their backside when they're leaning over. You got to take all that out because nobody's going to stick around and watch that.
Or at least that That is my take on it. I
Well, if you got an hour and a half video that's like 10 minutes of worthwhile stuff and the rest of it's somebody looking through a toolbox or go off to get an extension cord or something, that just doesn't
it's
work
hard
out.
to watch. I like when we make the more long form videos, something that's 10 minutes long. I like for something to hold its watching quality over time. Like to me, a short is like very disposable. It's like a light snack, you know. But if I'm going to put a video to get a 10-minute video together, I want it to be something that if you watch it a year from now, you get the same feeling. I don't like doing like update videos. I want it to have some content there, something, some substance to it if I'm going to put all morning into editing it. So
Louis says, I'm watching American Graffiti from 1973, a movie. Yep, I saw that right when it came out. I went to a movie theater by myself and I watched it. I thought it was great. Of course, that was in 1973, and man, I remember. Here I am with names again. What's his name? Milner? I can't remember his first name. The name that he used in the movie. Driving along in that 32 Ford, and he's kind of looking up at the mirror, and he's got what's her name, little girl next to him. I liked him, and he's driving that 32 Ford around, that yellow one. Man, that was cool. That was kind of a fun movie. The cars really made that movie. Who's that little girl? That was what's her name? Phillips. She was young then. Can't think of her name. Somebody will know her name. Somebody will get points here.
I dropped the ball. I don't know what you're talking about at all.
On
But
the
that's
movie
okay.
American Graffiti,
Oh, I don't know that
John
movie very
Milner was
well.
driving around in that 32 Ford, the yellow one. That's such a famous one. And what's her name got in the car like she's his girlfriend or something. She's like 12 years old then, and it's like, oh god, now I got this kid with me driving around, and it was just cute. But she's man, it was I cannot think of her name. So yeah, she's like I don't know 7 or 8 years younger than me. Not so young now. Mackenzie Phillips. Hey, Bruce, you got it. Retired Inspector Bruce. Yeah, Mackenzie Phillips. Um, yeah, she's a young kid then. She jumped in the car with him. But that was just. I mean, the '58 Chevy, the black whatever it was, a '55 or I think it was a '55 Chevy, and the Thunderbird, the two-seat Thunderbird and everything. I mean, the cars really made that. Yeah, it was really cool.
Jack Stanson Cinderblock says that he is putting some shine juice on the Clifford truck, debating whether he's going to keep it or sell it, and that he was only able to film maybe a tenth because he was busy wrenching and couldn't keep cameras charged and on. Yeah, it takes a lot of practice and effort and
You need to give retired Inspector Bruce some points for that.
oh, for pulling up the name,
Yeah,
Mackenzie
he pulled it right
Phillips.
up. I couldn't
You
pull
get
that up.
3 points because his brain, I could smell the smoke coming out of his ears. He was trying to think of that name.
I couldn't think of it.
Um,
I knew it was John Phillips' daughter, but I couldn't think of her name.
Jack Stans, yeah, trying to get it all, trying to do the wrenching and the filming. It sure helps to have a crew. And there's a couple people who are really good at doing it by themselves. One of the people that comes to mind was Vice Grip Garage. He was just really good at doing the work, showing you what he was doing while he's doing it, and still getting things done pretty quickly. And he I'm sure it took him time to develop that talent, but he's really good at it. He always has been, and that's why he's so successful.
Well, I'd say it's a mistake we made up till now is doing long form video by just recording everything we're doing in the shop, and then you got hours of video you got to make
Many
into
hours.
you got to make into something else. We're not going to do that anymore.
But I take pride in those videos. I like doing them.
But what we need to do is do it the way we do a short. Get my act together, start the video and roll with it and be done.
Well, you're learning. You're learning.
So your editing time won't be like all day and all night, you know.
These are important tips, but the most important thing is to practice. You don't realize how much work it is until you try to do the work. You don't develop a routine until you start doing something different. And so you just have to take a step in that direction, and you feel what's comfortable, what you like, what works, what doesn't, what the audience responds to. I need to show the audience before ever hitting record. Oh, thinking about what I do. Yeah, it's a lot of there's a very big creative process, and there is talent and experience and skills that are necessary. You don't just and you got to be doing something interesting on top of it. So it's not easy.
Okay. Bruce says most of American graffiti was filmed in Petaluma. I didn't know that. Petaluma is north of the San Francisco area, on the north of the San Francisco Bay area. If any of you don't know, it's near the coast. Interesting place. Yeah, I've watched Vice Grip Garage for a long time too. The first time I stumbled on him, he was, remember the Chevelle, the red, white, and blue one that was painted like a flag, but it was faded out. He was at some motel fixing rust with duct tape. A rusty frame with duct tape. I was like, what is this guy doing?
He's got a good shtick, and he's smart. He found a little comedy, sort of like a formula that people respond to. It works. People like it. They know what to expect. Oh, look, there's a groundhog. Let's bring him up. And he just keeps doing it. He just keeps doing the same thing. And it's like, after a while, it's a little bit repetitive, but he is a very entertaining guy. So
Patrick Sullivan sent that in, says that's his groundhog neighbor.
But does he see his shadow?
He's facing the wrong way to see his shadow.
Maybe he doesn't want to see it. Maybe he knows it's there, but he doesn't really want to see it.
Bruce, you live in Petaluma. I didn't know you lived there. I knew you're up in that area somewhere because you were inspecting aircraft in the Bay Area.
Mike says script it. And the problem with scripting it comes out very boring. It's like it's very difficult to script and it still have character and flow to it. Like sometimes we'll like spitball or workshop a sort of topic. You know, we'll set up the tools and we're like, well, do this and then that and this and that, but we don't really script anything because he doesn't like to script. He likes to do things in his own words as it flows. And
that's not a gopher. That's a groundhog.
I just say go.
Or a woodchuck.
Go. It is a woodchuck.
Woodchuck or a groundhog.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
And I'd never seen one till I moved to Ohio, and they were all over the place.
All over the place.
I was in California. I used to hear about what was it? Groundhog Day and all that. I didn't know what they were. Now I know what they are. Man, the guy I worked for had these little dogs. The little Boston Terriers. And they're smaller than that animal. And one day, one of those Boston Terriers takes off running. We didn't know he was running after. He just took off into the trees. Comes back, and he's got one of those things by the neck, and he's killed it. He's dragging it back to the house. It's like that little dog got one of those guys.
Wow, because they have thick
And you know what John did with him? He butchered the animal and got the meat, and he cooked the meat and gave it to the two dogs.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
It's like Patrick Sullivan had to go through his whole entire Google photo library to find that little bugger.
Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the groundhog and go back
Groundhogs love digging under slabs.
And Buddy Carfano sent that in too.
62 Volkswagen. I swear we looked at that last week.
We could have, but that's
well, I think we were 62 this week.
I think we were talking. Yeah, it was just because this week's that year. But it's the.
What am I doing?
I don't know what
there
you're doing.
There it is. I made
it's the 23 window. It's one of all those windows.
That is a whole lot of windows.
And the chrome VW on the front. Yeah, and somebody was saying something here about um, all the stuff that Derek says, all this lightning hoses and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, you got to be careful watching that. Just don't start picking it up because then you're copying them, you know. So I almost,
people get so offended if you use somebody else's.
I don't want to do that though.
If you use somebody else's terminal.
If I want to call something else, I want it to be original. So I have to be careful with that. So if I watch too much Vice Grip, I mean,
maybe acting classes are in order. He knows how to act a little, and so do I. Right? There's times when you completely botch the take and you have to do it again. And it's not real because it's not live. It's not the first time. And you have to sort of act out what just happened in a way. And that's life.
Somebody finally did it. It was Buddy Carfano. Because they were asking earlier about a Corvair. There it is, 62 Corvair. And you can always tell it was 62 because they had those they had like a grill that wasn't really a grill. They had those two little fake openings on the front in 62. 2 openings for 62.
Where do the openings go?
They're not opening. They're just flat black.
Yeah, because that's the trunk. So you wouldn't want air coming in there.
The only time I've ever seen openings, I did one that the guy put, a friend of mine put a Olds Tornado drivetrain in the back. We ran tubes up front. And we put a radiator up there and we cut little slits so we get some air through there and he had some fans in there. And it worked really well. The fuel filler on a jerry can is called what? Spout. Oh. You know those 23, also those 23 window ones. I saw one a couple of years ago at Barrett Jackson go for $100,000. I never thought I'd see a Volkswagen bus sell for $100,000. Those were like inexpensive buses. I suppose that 23 windows, well, yeah, they were a little more, but $100,000 for a Volkswagen bus. That is just crazy.
Olive says I've done poetry readings, so if I know what's coming, I'm okay with scripts, but couldn't get any work done like that. Well, yeah. And poetry is nice because it some poetry is written to be orated. It has a flow and a pentameter or whatever, and it's meant to be. A lot of things are written in rhyme or prose or whatever it is, so that it's easier to remember. Like that was the intention. So poetry is kind of nice for that kind of thing. I'm pretty good if I have a bullet point list, I can improvise pretty well. And if I know I have to read a script, I could learn to read naturally from a script. But yeah, there's a lot of time involved, and you don't want a script. I don't know. I guess if we were doing something that was significant, we would make sure we got all the details perfect. But generally, that's not the kind of stuff we're working on. It's pretty lackadaisical. We're working on old cars. It's nothing groundbreaking. People have worked on old cars before, so we're just talking about what we're doing. It's more of like a vlog than a fully educational thing most of the time. That's fun for us. And I hope it gives people some creative inspiration. And sometimes it gives us a lot of good feedback. People will be like, well, have you tried doing it this way? And a couple of times people have saved our bacon by giving us good suggestions. Like, have you checked to make sure the timing belt was installed properly by the previous owner? It's like, oh.
Vintage Adventure says, just joined in. I got a Granger ad right off the bat.
Welcome to the stream. You get 2 points for your Granger ad. For the ones that get it done. Granger's a good place.
Granger really supports us a lot.
We get a lot of people, because we're the kind of people who get things done. So Granger likes to Yeah, they're pretty much sponsoring our stream. They have paid us hundreds of pennies.
Pennies.
By now, I think Granger has probably given us at least $1 in advertising revenue.
Another Buddy Carafano, Corvair 95, which was the van. If it had windows in the back and seats, they called it a Greenbrier. If it was the truck, either this, the pickup, or the no windows in the back,
I've never seen it with the ramp side.
they call it Corvair 95. Yeah, this is the ramp side.
Was the ramp size like a factory choice, or is that like a modification?
No, that's how you got into the pickup bed, which is kind of cool because it's on the side where you park.
Yeah,
You know, it's on the
I'll be
sidewalk
honest,
side.
wheelchair accessible pickup. Yeah, I guess it was, huh?
Well, if you want the wheelchair to ride the back of the pickup.
I mean, you better.
Yeah,
It's a pretty
Tavo's
steep
here.
ramp, but
Tavo's here. Lunchtime in Australia, I bet. Buddy Carafano has sent in several of these things, and I bet this one is. Oh yeah, here's one. It's got windows, and that I can barely read what it says on the door, but I bet it says Greenbrier because the ones with the seats in the back and the windows were called a Greenbrier. Yeah, Jay Leno has one of those ramp sides. I'd forgotten about that.
Jack Stan Cinderblock says, I guess I have more of an educational channel because YouTube keeps telling me how-to videos are evergreen. Yeah, well, I mean, you definitely, if you can turn your little whatever project you're doing into a how-to instead of just a this is what I'm doing, if you can frame it as a how-to, it's definitely more evergreen kind of video. So if you can, the other thing is titling it. Like if you're showing doing something, but someone might glean how-to information from it, if you title it properly, how to fix your transmission, how to change your oil, how to something that applies, then yes, it will be much more evergreen. And that is a really good topic to know. And it's a good thing to have in mind when you're structuring the video and making the video in the first place. I'd own that van if I could pull an Empire or Rust, sell everything to buy the next vehicle. I'm telling you, selling everything to buy the next vehicle. I think if we sold everything, we wouldn't have enough money to buy another vehicle. We don't have very much.
Kevin Smith just got a John Deere commercial.
John Deere. Okay. Thank you, Kevin Smith. You get 2 points for that.
We have a John Deere
Space Cat
tractor
said
that's probably 10 years old now, but I use it a lot.
he loves his John Deere. He really does.
Sling ad. Tractor, a sling ad. Sling. What's a sling ad?
Is that Sling TV? Is that like a streaming service, or am I wrong? Crash, tell us what
I think there's an airplane called a Sling, but I don't think that's
I
what
don't
that
think they
is.
were advertising in the airplanes, were
Man,
they?
my shoulder's killing me tonight.
Just like in the cartoon TV show, Space Cat had his stepdad had a side ramp style Corvair. Very cool and odd.
Vintage. I had an IXL ad. It's some kind of K through 12 online school.
Oh, I see, yes.
Still get 2 points. Right? Kim, you're falling down on the points.
Sorry, you get 2 points for your ad. Thank you for calling it out to us. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time today, guys. Trying to bring my best energy.
Kevin Smith, John Deere Green. Sounds like a song.
Oh, John Deere Green.
That John Deere tractor we have, that thing's, I bet it's a good 10 years old now. But it's pretty nice. We've taken care of it.
We've made a couple of videos about it.
You know what? I gotta get oil and a filter for it. It's coming up. It's about 10 hours away from needing a service.
Oh, Vintage Adventurer Odds. Vintage Adventurer Drives is heading to his house on April the 8th to do a collab with both our satellites. Is that Empire of Rust? Is that where you're going? Cool.
Tavo.
Collabs are great.
Tavo, 62.
We're doing 62.
Can you increase the size of that a little?
Bob loves Charlene on a hot summer night. Boy, it got smaller.
That was like completely the wrong direction.
Lots bigger. Boy, that's as big as it gets.
Really?
Yeah, why is it so small?
I don't know. It's a little picture. Buddy Carfano sent in a little picture.
Mercedes-Benz got the gull wing doors. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Drive anywhere like that, though.
I don't really like going doors that much. Could you ever roll that thing over? How are you going to get out of it? You know?
I don't know. Don't roll it over. Then.
Yeah, I know. It's like the back when they first came out, and the first like 5 or 6 years, I really wanted a Bricklin. I mean, I really wanted a Bricklin, but I just didn't have the money to buy something like that. But thinking about it now, if you ever rolled that thing over, how would you get out of it? You're in it.
It's bad. Yes, Empire of Rust. We're swapping my disc brakes for his drum brakes. Why would you do that? Don't you want disc brakes?
Oh, Tavo's going to send something. Good, cool. We're going to get Down Under pictures.
I think it's Big Green Tractor. Baby, take a ride on my big green tractor. Why do I know all these country songs about tractors?
Yeah, they're not terrible. All says they're not terribly roll prone. It just can you put in the email address so Special Agent James can send a picture?
Oh, Special Agent James. You're going to send it to the name of the channel at gmail.com. So it's Buff Del Campo. Whoop.
That's almost right.
At gmail.com. Now you have a clickable link as well. She think my tractor's sexy. It really turns her on.
Yeah, Vintage says, I want the drum brakes for my Triple Crown car to lighten up the front end. Not only that, and reduce drag. I was going to say, not only that, it'll reduce drag. And then I read the next line. It says, and reduce drag. You're right. Yep, and it'll stop the car just fine.
Oh, you're going to put them on a Triple Crown car. Okay, well, that makes sense. Go. That makes sense.
I've got an email from Tavo. What did he send? Oh, this is 1962 from Down Under. Oh, that's big. Yeah, I think we can make it smaller.
Maybe make it smaller. He sent us a good size picture. Oh,
look at that.
Beautiful.
Look at all those road toads right together. But these are Australian ones because look where the steering wheel is.
Oh, the picture's just reversed.
You flip the picture over? Yeah, but it says Valiant. It's not reversed. No, they drive on the wrong damn side of the road. Yeah. I was in England driving. I kind of had to, I had to think when I was driving. Normally, I don't think too much. It just all happens, But when I'm driving a right-hand drive car on the left side of the road, I have to have my brain engaged a little bit. Louis says, what's that? That's a 1962 Valiant in Australia. Yeah, we've seen them, Tavo, but they're... yours are a little different. Some of the trim's different. I think the grill's different. Of course, the steering wheel's different, and it has the always seems like Australian people put louvers in the back windows. That seems to be a thing. And then there's two on either side. Man, look at the slotted wheels. God, I like those slotted wheels. And then the other one has the original, the little dimples hubcaps that we had up here. What's the tail end look like on that? What do the taillights look like on that? Yeah, you don't have to reverse the wiper sweep. Have you ever noticed Australian cars? The wipers sweep the other direction because they want the wiper to go up in front of your face, only it's on this side. Have you ever noticed that? They have to make that backwards. But the wipers go like this. So they're just fine. They don't have to change it. They're the same. I don't know. I wonder what the back end of this. Which taillights do your 62s have? Are they like our 61s or like our 62s? And I got something in my eye bothering me. Inside louvers made sense in Australia. Serious sun, but a lot of dust go out through louvers. Would be yeah, can you imagine trying to clean those all the time? Yeah, and then, in the US, they did it like on the Mustangs on the outside. And I never really liked that, but a lot of cars had them, you know. It was a thing here. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat. Hey, Wendy, how you doing? Look at this, Wendy. Road toads.
From Tavo.
Only these are Australian road toads. But they're
She
62s.
heard the road toads calling. That's why she showed up.
Mrs. One-Eyed Cat, that's a road toad family. Road toads are like a slang for
a two-toads family.
The 60, 61, 62 Valiants and Lancers, these things.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need a quick break again.
Okay.
We're more than 2 hours in,
okay,
folks.
Mike N, SV1, and the doors are pneumatic too, I think, not hydraulic. Really heavy to open from the inside of pump failed. They are heavy, heavy doors. Yeah, and there's a guy that was actually the main engineer at Bricklin. He's passed away now, but for years he had a business where he restored those things, and he put a hydraulic ram on. He had an aftermarket kit to hold those doors up or to open them. I can't think of his name offhand, but there's somebody else took over his business, and he's in where's he? Bedford, Virginia, something like that. And then there's another guy in the Midwest, maybe Texas, somewhere, maybe Oklahoma. I don't remember. Somewhere out there, there's a guy that does a lot of Bricklin SV1 cars. Olive says, I love outside louvers. I put some on my 70Z car. That's another car they were on a lot. They were cheap because everyone else was taking them off. Yeah, see, in the 80s, that was late 70s and 80s, that was a real big deal here. So if you like them, yeah, you can probably get them. Pretty good deal on them. Special Agent James, I sent some pictures of my 68 Impala and the 383 I built for myself. Okay, I'll look for that. And this chat's moving really fast right now, so I'll look in a minute because Kim's not here to read the chat. They have a little pouches for its baby. Oh, in Australia. We know we're parts when our cars are considered vintage. Yeah, that's like my 78 Mercury Zephyr. Every time I drive it, when I went to the DMV yesterday I was in that car, but I was getting the Jeep registration renewed. Some people are walking back and they say, oh, there's a car just like my grandmother's. Okay. They're pointing at my car. Tavo, only 62 year. Last ones were built early 63. 2 models. The Absolute 62 from January through March, then the 62 model from March. Luis, well, anyway, tomorrow I have to go Walmart and find those auto parts for my 92 Cobra, I guess. I'm trying to read this, but it's going by really fast. The guy I bought my Scamp from, one of those early A-bodies in his pasture. I really want to do something with that car. That's vintage. Tavo says the Obsolete 61, I mean. Luis says, anyway, good night, goodbye. Okay, take care, Luis. Thanks for stopping by. Why would they do that, Gearhead? I missed something there. Luis, bye, everyone. Vintage, good night. Oh, good night, Luis. Okay. Olive says, I was in Texas. I needed the shade, and though tints existed, they sucked. Yeah, I agree with that. I can understand why you like the shade from those things. I'm just not a big fan of the way they look, but yeah, it doesn't matter, Mostly our part. Wait a minute, I missed something. Kevin Smith, you would have louvers if you worked in a body shop. What a pain in the butt. Yeah. Mostly old parts. Love the 62 Valiants. Used to have 2 of them. Oh, I see. Okay, Kevin Smith says,
Oh, it's Ron.
you would hate louvers. Okay, you worked in a body shop.
Mostly old parts is Ron Ward.
Mostly old parts is on Ward. Oh yeah, we showed your motorcycle earlier.
Yeah, we did. Thank
Kevin
you for
Smith
sending
looks
us
like
that.
periwinkle. Okay, let's
Everyone
see
who sent photos through email tonight gets 2 points.
Oh, there's more here.
Thank you. Even if we don't look at them.
Carl sent. Carl. Who is it? Oh, here we go. Just a second.
Thank you for your participation.
Tavo's got another picture that I asked him for. I just got to pull it up. This is the back of that car. Oh, look at that. There's an extra light in there that we didn't get. That inboard light. Oh, that's amber. Isn't that amber turn signal? I bet it is. Look at that.
It's a pretty car.
It's in Australia something. Yeah, and that looks like almost like One-Eyed Cat. And then the one next to it, the one on the right, has the slots. Man, I need to find a set of slotted mags for my car with the 4-bolt that fit my
We'll
Zephyr.
find them.
Yeah, I don't know. They'll come up. I as I'm driving it, I'm starting to remember my other one that I had. Gee, it was 4 years old. It was a 79, so I had it in 83 and 84. And it was, so the memory's a little foggy because as I'm driving this one, I'm starting to remember some of the stuff. And so now I'm thinking about the things I really want to do. Tavo says, yes, amber turn signal, reverse lamp moved up, fitted with amber lens. Oh, that's what they did. Oh, okay. Yeah, because they had to have amber turn signals there. What is written there? Yeah, Tavo, what's it say there on that I can probably zoom that in, but I don't know if we'll see it.
Torque flight?
Is that torque flight, like the transmission? I'm not sure what that says.
I bet it does.
It does. Tavo says torque flight. They actually have a logo that says torque flight. Kim, I need my break. I'll be back.
All right. You don't get a break?
Give me a minute or two. Oh, wait a minute. Mostly all parts. Those first-gen Valiants were so light. Race weight on our 62 was 2660. Man, I have those 60, 61 Valiants. I've always wanted one, but they just, they haven't been available when I've been buying something. Okay, I'll be right back.
Mike says Chevy bringing the 283 has got to be an April Fool's joke. Gearhead. Yeah, I don't think they're bringing the 283 back. Although Stellantis says they're bringing the Hemi back. Back in those days, it was a big deal to advertise on the outside. That car had an automatic transmission. Yeah, well, the automatic transmissions, and the torque flight was a 3-speed automatic transmission instead of a 2-speed. I don't know anything about the early Chrysler 2-speed automatic. It didn't have the name recognition like the what was the 2-speed Chevy that everybody the Power Glide was the Chevy 2-speed. Everybody knew what the Power Glide was. And then they had the Turbo 350, but I don't think Chrysler had a particularly noteworthy 2-speed automatic before they came out with the torque lights. Power Flight, Tavo says. See, I don't ever remember anybody talking about the Power Flight transmission. So the 2-speed Chrysler transmission must have not been anything very noteworthy. Special Agent James says Chevy does have the 4.8 LS, kind of close in size to the 283. Right. Yeah, people aren't really big fans of the 4.8 LS motor. Even the 5.3 LSs now, they're saying don't even bother, just go with that the biggest one, the 6 or whatever it is, that the big LS, because you can make big power, big power, big power. You know, I don't know. I guess that's the thing. Like, if you're gonna go big, go big. And, you know, Kevin Smith sent a pic of a failed tire that we might find interesting. All right, well, we'll get to it here in a minute. I see his email there, but I'm not going to fuss with it until he comes back. But I hear him. Oh, you're pretty quick.
Yeah,
that was fast.
That was a fast break. Okay, let's see. Looks like people are sending things.
Kevin Smith sent a picture of a tire for us.
Okay, let's see what we got. Go back to my inbox.
Mike N says the LS3. Yeah, that's the one everybody says. It makes so much power so easy. Minor modifications makes tons and tons and tons of power. But, you know, people are not... I mean, I guess if you can find one in a wrecked vehicle. But, you know, they're pretty expensive to come by. 400 plus horsepower right out of the box, Mike N says. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot.
Okay. Ooh!
That tire come apart. They must have made that on a Monday.
And what is the story behind this?
It was only a couple of years old. That does not look like that looks like an old
Looks
tire.
like spiderwebs on it.
I don't believe that was only 5 years old. That looks like an old tire. But
Man,
if they get overheated, they can delaminate or whatever like that. But that looks like an older tire. Just the width of the white wall, the style of doesn't look like that new of a tire.
I am hurting tonight. I've got a Firestone. Yeah, that looks like a Firestone 500. Man, I'm hoping I feel like this tomorrow when I go to the doctor for my physical therapy. Because if I go in there, how do you feel? Perfect. You know, I feel fine. Nothing's wrong. That's not good. I want to go in there when I got problems, which is like right now. I can feel this. Oh, man. Looks like it tracks 12. Mostly old parts. I don't trust tires after 3 to 4 years. Check the dot number on it.
3 or 4, I've got 10-year-old tires on pretty much everything I own. I'm okay with that.
Depends on what you do with them. If you're flying down the highway and going, you know, passing people at 100 miles an hour, yeah, then you probably should have newer tires.
The other thing
but we use a lot of stuff that never leaves the property and it never goes over 10 miles an hour. You know, I don't care what we have.
The other thing is if you have the money to change your tires in 3 to 4 years, if they're not worn out that bad, somebody else will buy them from you if they still have tread on them. So you could technically just get new tires every 3 to 4 years, whether you need them or not.
5 years old, fella apart while parked.
I don't know. That's sus.
Let's get back to my.
Thank goodness. Well, yeah. That's crumble. That's a bad day at the vulcanizing factory. That was a first tire of the day or something like that.
Take it in. Maybe they'll retread it.
Or the last tire of the batch. I don't know. Looks like a John Wilburn tire. There you go.
What is this? Funny how Kim just disappears. Why is that? Are you ducking out somehow? What's happening? What's happening? How are you disappearing? Oh, behind me.
Mm-hmm. Like when we go off screen.
Well, finally too far, I go off. What are you doing?
screen is fun. We should do more with it. We should
But look at my hat. You can see
do
through
some more
my
gimmicky
hat has
things.
green on it, so you can see through it. Like if I duck down here, come here, I can see, you can see the back of that car.
We should get some of those uh green screen suits and do funny
I
things.
changed my shirt before tonight because it was a green shirt, and then I just looked like my head moving around. You wouldn't see my body.
Vintage Adventure says my dad has used old tires from the 80s and driven 100 miles down the highway. Man, my van has 12-year-old rubber on the back, new ones in the shed waiting for one to fail or wear out. Doing okay so far.
Your van. Oh
I
man.
don't know. I have a set of Michelins on the front of my Dart that are 35 years old.
Whoa, where's this?
Old McDonald has a car says. Man. Mostly old parts says, as tires age, the plasticizers evaporate from the rubber. Michelin says 6 years is max age for a tire to be used. I mean, that makes sense. You shouldn't sell someone tires that are older than that. And for any kind of performance use, yeah, you can't trust a tire that old. And they do deteriorate. They are not. We have a lot of tires on these old cars that sit around that are dry rotted because all the off gas, all the quality off gases, and then they get dry and crack. And I have old bias ply tires that are still good. Yeah, some of the rubber compounds are much more prone to go bad than others.
There you go. Most of the part says, as I looked at that tire, venture to say at some point it had a puncture and water seeped into the repair area and caused the tread to separate from the belts. And that's a possibility.
Defective. Olive says they don't make them like they used to, but there's such a thing as pushing your luck. And Mostly Old Parts is a certified tire special. Oh, so Mostly Old Parts is going by the book. And, I'm not going to argue that you shouldn't go by the book. For maximum safety and performance, always go by the book. If it's something that like a lot of the tires that we have in the cars here are just rollers so that we can move.
Oh, like the Studebaker.
Move the car from this side of the property to that side of the property without picking it up off the ground. We just roll it on tires.
Old McDonald got a Seafoam ad.
Oh, okay. You get 2 points. Thank you for calling out the advertiser. Seafoam, do you mean the stuff for cleaning out gas tanks and carburetors?
I think that's what it means.
Okay.
Mostly Old Parts, Biapplied tires. Okay, where's the other one I just saw? Oh, was Mrs. One-Eyed Cat got Harbor Freight ad. Mike and no commercial. I thought I saw another one. Oh, Vintage. I just got an ad for Tractor Supply fencing material.
Oh. And Kevin Smith got a Nissan commercial. We got a lot of people got commercials this ad break.
They all got.
Thank you for being patient with our ad break. It's good for us to have advertisers. It means that we have enough reach that YouTube is, like giving us sponsorship a little bit. It's like at least it allows us to freely come to you without being like hidden or, delisted. We know you can see us. And YouTube likes that, so they can show you ads. So as much as it might not be the way we prefer to do it, we do appreciate you being patient with that. And hopefully you're getting targeted ads that actually mean something to you. And maybe they can help you. I don't know. Maybe they'll offer you some kind of deal, or I don't know. I'm not in any control over that. That's YouTube. But hopefully they're giving you ads that you can click away in a couple of seconds. And
Kevin Smith says 2 points toward my Studebaker. You really want that Studebaker,
Kevin's
don't you?
I think he's gonna come and get it. I believe.
Where is Kevin Smith? I try to remember where everybody
He's
lives.
not giving up, he says. You can come here with your trailer and your tent.
No. Not gonna get rid of that Studebaker yet.
Make video content for a year of putting the Studebaker back together.
You know one thing, I took it apart, but everything is bagged and tagged, and it's not like a bag full of like 800 bolts. It's like 2 or 3 bolts or nuts in each bag with very specific where they go. So it's And all that stuff's all organized.
Akron, Ohio.
Oh,
That's a
Akron,
bit of a
Ohio.
drive. 10
But
hours? 8 hours? I don't know. I've yet to have a worthwhile ad. Sorry, Vintage Adventurer. Old McDonald asks who is keeping tabs on total points for the last several lives. It's an on your honor system.
You have to keep track of your own points.
I don't have a spreadsheet. I don't keep track of points. You keep track of your points. It's easy for one person to keep track of their own points. That's how it
Studebaker
works.
is a 1961. I might have pictures of it here. Before I took it apart.
That Studebaker would be a great restore. You know, I never saw it complete, but it's an interesting thing. Like the whole front suspension, all the rubber is gone. I did get the engine to start. It's got a really bad dead miss in one of the cylinders, I think. It might have had a stuck valve or something. But I mean, we got it like running where it would even, well, I changed the starter and I changed the carburetor. I mean, I got it. Right. There it is.
That's the day I got it, and you can see the tires.
I didn't know you had pictures of the Studebaker put together. We have the grill.
Okay, but I'm in its way.
Well, I'll put it up.
Yeah, there. So that's the day I got it, and we pulled it off the trailer. And I immediately took all the wheels off, went to a tire shop, and the guy sold me some used tires for $10 a piece that were just junk. And I told him, I'm not going to drive this. It's just so I can roll around my shop. So he agreed to that, and he did that for me. And then, but the grill, I think you put the grill back in it, right?
Most report says first-gen Valiants and Studebaker Larks share a lot of the same styling cues. I agree. Yeah, they do.
So, there it is. That's on the trailer. That was the day I bought it. That's in front of the place where I bought it. Look at that's a nice looking tire. And the only rust on this thing is right there at the back of the front fender, and all of them rust there. All of them rust there. Put 4 headlights on that Studebaker and tell me it wouldn't resemble a 60 through 62 Valiant. You know what? That was an option on these. Let's see if I can bring that up. Oops, that's a 61 that has single headlights. I thought I had pictures of them that had... I can't find my cursor.
Good. Ran when parked. Tires have lots of tread.
Okay, there it is apart right now. That's in my shop out in Arizona.
That's not right now.
That's in the shop in Arizona, but I mean that's how far apart it is right now. Oh, the windshield's up, but the glass is out of it right now too.
No, we put the front.
Oh, the engine's
timing cover
and the
back
engine's
on.
back together and it runs, or it ran.
Yeah, we never hooked up a radiator to it though, so we didn't run it long enough to really get it hot.
And if you're interested,
but we did run it long enough that it was like the oil flowing through it and stuff like that, because it had been in storage for quite some time and we didn't know what it. Gearhead says it's snowing 3 to 6 inches tonight, possible. Yikes!
Glad I'm not up north.
We're supposed to get like 10 inches of rain this week.
And I don't know. I'm at a loss here. Anyway, that's the tag. That's how a VIN used to look many years ago, before they had 17-digit VINs. North Dakota. Oh yeah, North Dakota. I am looking for...
What are you looking? We've got a tornado watch here in Oklahoma till midnight. Oh, be safe, Vintage Adventurer. Do you got like a storm shelter? I know we have these big trees. I don't think we ever had a tornado this far south of Clarksville, but just north of Clarksville, they get tornadoes regularly.
There's the back of it, and you can see somebody put a hasp on the trunk lid.
Yeah, that car has had sort of a rough life.
And then the fuel filler, somebody just took a piece of sheet metal because the Filler was gone.
Yeah, it's missing some stuff. It like you made it out that it was like a perfect car. But
No.
it's like
What's perfect about it is it's got surface rust on it, but that's just
it's
Arizona
not all
sun.
rotten, yeah.
Yeah, it's not big. There's no rotten holes in it. None. You know, it's pretty good shape for that. It's a good place to start. I don't
Mike
know.
N, we have not looked at a 62 Studebaker of Aronti.
Yeah, let's get rid of these pictures of my stuff. Oh, we're back to that one.
Mm-hmm.
OCR part is very much in Kansas.
You're not in Kansas anymore. All right, here it is, the Studebaker Avanti 62, the world's fastest production car in 62.
I'm trying to find other Studebaker pictures I have that may have a lark.
Factory supercharged. Pretty wild. It looks like something out of a
Isn't that a nice
James
looking
Bond
car?
movie.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, 1962, and they were doing that. That was just an incredible car. Like way ahead of its time.
Oh, he wants interior shots of the Avanti. Let's see what we can find. Oh, wow. I forgot how special the interior was on these cars.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? They had a Stuart Warner instrumentation in it, and it was just. I remember sitting in one when I was in sixth grade. I was in South Dakota, and I went to my eye doctor and got new glasses and everything. And so I knew this guy, and I was walking through town, and there he is, and he's wiping down his car, and he had one of these. And he says, sit in it. You know, I was 12 years old. I sat in that car. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, it's not a.
Good night, Jack Stans. He's got to go.
Oh, okay. Take care. World's fuggliest car. Fiberglass. Yes, it's fiberglass. The This is not a Ford 289. No, it's nothing like a Ford 289. Ford 289 is, man, it's a big bore short stroke engine, and this is just the opposite. It's a small bore long stroke engine, big heavy thing. Studebaker never went out of business. They just switched to selling other stuff. Oh, they went to all kinds of things. They owned STP and they owned property all over the place, become property management. They had, oh, I don't know, they had a whole myriad of stuff that they owned. Their defense contractor. It was not a well-known name, but they made a lot of parts for aircraft and spacecraft. Um, yeah, they went on. They went on and did other things, and then eventually different parts of the company were bought up by other companies, so it's been all spread out, but I don't think any of it's gone. You know, it's just, yeah, they quit making cars, and 66 model was the end of it. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
I have this picture. Somebody was asking. That's a 61 Lark with the optional quad headlights.
I think it was mostly old parts.
Mostly old parts.
And he's saying he'll be with John Wilburn on the 11th for his Friday Night Live show.
Oh.
We're usually there. Hopefully,
11.
if you go,
that's a week.
I think a lot of these people already are frequent viewers of John Wilburn's show on Friday nights, but Ron Ward will be special guest, and he is.
Okay, so that's
he's
not
an
this coming
entertaining
Friday.
fellow,
It's a week. It's like 10 days from now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I always try
Be
to.
sure to check that out. Mark
Always
your
try to-
calendars.
I always try to make John Wilburn's live, and I have missed a couple of them, and I feel bad when that happens.
Can't get them all.
So anyway,
really tough.
Anyway, that's what the 61 looks like with the optional.
Boy, they have that polished up beautifully, don't they?
Yeah,
that's nice looking.
It's a really nice looking picture. I mean, you know, I don't know. Something isn't quite right about the aspect ratio on that picture. But anyway, it shows what the quad headlights look like. So, you know, with that panel, I could convert mine, but I don't know. I kind of like mine with the little single lights. starting to close. Ah, there's 62 Dodge. Where's the picture I started off with? Ooh, that one doesn't close. I don't know why.
Try again.
I tried twice. Doesn't like that. Okay, so now I've got to go back to, where was I? Downloads. I don't know what I'm going to go back to.
Tabo says he just sent a pic of what the Valiant was released to compete with.
Okay. I will check my email again.
Vintage Adventurer says he misses every other John Wilburn lives thanks to spending time with the girlfriend. That's probably more important. I could see that. Yeah.
Oh, this is
You
gonna
mean
be
to tell me
interesting.
she doesn't want to watch John Wilburn? I'm not sure if that was sarcasm or not. Wombat.
Okay.
Yep, that's a wombat.
This is what Tavo just sent in. This is what the Valiant had to compete with, is a Holden.
Boy, that looks a lot like the Ford that we were looking at.
It's a Holden, and then there's the front of it, and there's the back of it. Oh, man. Yeah, we never saw those up here. Yeah, Kim, would you like to drive that?
I mean, it looks like an alright car. Basic transportation. Mom and Popper, get around her.
Yeah, I just can't even imagine what that's like to drive.
Soccer mama?
It's so unlike the GM cars that were here.
Really?
So, next question I had, I'm thinking, what engine did it have? And I look over there and Tavo's already put it down. 138 cubic inch, 6-cylinder, 75 horsepower. That's a small 6-cylinder. That's kind of interesting. I assume it's overhead valve.
It's a little car. 75 horsepower probably goes just fine.
It probably goes just fine, yeah. But, well, look at my car. It's got, what, 88 horsepower or something?
Is that all that 6-cylinder makes?
Yeah, mine. Mine's it's gross horsepower instead of net, or net horsepower instead of brake horsepower. So they changed the ratings on it. So I don't know. Who knows what it really is? I remember when I used to get the Australian Street Machine magazine, because I was interested in selling radiators there. But that just didn't work out because I always thought, well, it's summer there, it's winter here. Winter was my slow time. But then by the time I built up a stock and got them shipped down there, it would have made my summer even busier. So it just didn't work out. But I got those magazines, and I got to know what some of those cars were. And a Holden Monaro was one I really liked in the 80s. Yeah, probably 70s and 80s. Finish. That engine is almost as small as my Pinto engine. Yeah, and it's a 6-cylinder. Probably great mileage. Yeah, look at the vent windows on the doors. The shape of the vent windows looks like a Corvair. You know that the little vent windows on them.
Probably if you had it tuned in tip-top condition, it probably got pretty good mileage. But, you know.
Look at that. So for 62, the Holden had 75 horsepower. The Falcon had 85 horsepower. And the Valiant had 145, which is a slant 6.
Wow.
Yeah, the Valiant was pretty nice.
So, yeah.
Tavo, did people take these and put V8s in them for hot rods? You know, like, you guys got another V8 that we didn't get. I think it was a 308 General Motors V8. It was a Holden V8. And then you got the small block like we got, but then you got like a smaller V8. And I think it was a 308, I think. And I remember seeing pictures of those things in cars in the hot rods of the 80s. I remember seeing those. Kevin Smith, the Trabant was a 2-cycle. Yeah, I like the Trabant. Someday I'll have a Trabant. Cool car. made out of old cotton cloth and some
Epoxy.
kind of resin. It wasn't epoxy. Oh yeah, here he says, yes, we had the locally made 253 and 308 shared platform. Yeah, that was the first time I saw that engine, I knew it wasn't something we had because the valve cover is a little different shape, and it was enough that I knew it was something else. But it was very General Motors looking.
It does look like Biscayne Impala. Although the roof is higher than the windshield, which is not Biscayne Impala-ish. Like
It does have the shape, yeah.
the windshield does, though, yeah.
Trabant was a gross polluter. Well, it was a simple 2-cycle engine, and
2 cycles are not.
it was from a communist country where they didn't care anything about pollution, or
The great thing
just
about
didn't
the
care
2
anything about
cycle
that stuff.
always has and always will be power to weight ratio. Instead of 4 cycles to get 1 power, you get 2 cycles to get power. So you get double the power per weight, which no, you don't. But there's a lot more room to get more power out of the same weight. And but yeah, the 4 cycle wins out because of yeah, you're just blowing fuel out the exhaust on the 2-stroke.
So this is what I'm drinking, is some kind of generic root beer. It's not a dark beer in a beer mug. It's root beer in a beer mug.
I'm surprised they've never come out with a hybrid 2-cylinder engine. The first cylinder is a 2-stroke, and
Well,
second
supercharges the second one.
Supercharges the second one.
There've been all kinds of things like that, but it's like that's the kind of stuff you used to read about in Popular Mechanics and Popular Science magazine. But yeah, you never see it in production.
Yeah, because in practice, it's garbage.
GM USA didn't like our 308. Similar work done, they'd leave the 350 in the dust. Really? What was the bolt pattern, the bell housing bolt pattern on the 308? Was it like the small block, same as the small block? And what was this 6-cylinder? I'm wondering what if this typical of GM, everything interchanged or almost did. There was the Pontiac Buick Olds bolt pattern and Chevrolet bolt pattern. Didn't matter if you had 4, 6, V8, big block, small block. They're all the same bolt pattern. I wish Ford had done that. Ford, you couldn't get through a year without a change, If you haven't seen the YouTube video on the Trabants on the assembly line going through, I have seen it. Oh,
we've watched it.
I've watched it. We've watched it a couple of times, and
it's good stuff.
It's good stuff, yeah.
Very entertaining.
But I'd still like to have a Trabant.
Kevin Smith mentions the root beer. I let him splurge and buy the generic diet root beer. He loves it.
You know what?
And they don't come in the big bottles for some reason.
This was a big pack. I don't know what it was, 12 cans or something. Cans. And the
it ends up being like 40 cents a can or something.
Brand name ones were like $8.95 or something for one of those.
Yeah.
And this generic stuff was like $4 and something. And I went, yeah, I'm getting that. It's pretty good.
I feed him the generic food. I'm sorry. I'm a
No, that's okay.
Bad grocery person.
No, it used to be like, when I was making good money, I bought Tide laundry detergent. And I bought, everything was brand name, the best stuff, and I could tell the difference. But once I retired and I didn't have much money, it's like, the generic stuff's okay. Now I buy the generic soap for the washer. The clothes get clean. And, I don't know. You change a little, when you don't have as much money. So, it's the way it is.
Olive says, if you like light, they've been talking about hybrid rotaries. They could actually be good and clean if they only operate under one or 2 load conditions and RPM. Yeah. Yeah, they missed the boat on the rotaries. I think it's just because the regular piston engines are just so well refined. The rotaries have just, but they have had a lot of years to work on the rotaries. The metallurgy and stuff like that has improved a lot. it seems to have always just been a niche thing. It's surprising that I don't know. I don't know
Says
why it
here,
is.
Tavo could get the 308 in 2-bolt patterns, suit the local Trimatic. Uh, I'm going to get covered up with ads. I'll wait.
Old MacDonald Has a Car says he read that a 1964 Valiant with a slant six could get 27 to 30 miles per gallon in the right weather conditions, with like highway miles, uh, with the right gas, right? So not using too much ethanol fuel, using non-ethanol gas, and conservatively driven on the highway, so you're not stopping it and starting with the choke a lot and that kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely. Get 27 to 30 miles a gallon to a properly tuned slant six,
So
especially if it had a manual transmission and highway gears and good tires. And
I got, okay, Buddy Car Found, I got Subway ads. 2 points. Kim, 2 points.
okay,
Um,
yes.
let's see here. I got interrupted by commercials, but Tavo, and it's going to disappear, could get the 308 in 2-bolt pattern, suit the local Trimatic or the US-made turbo hydromatic pattern. That 138 6-cylinder is a smaller version of the Chevy 6 of the day, overhead valve, 4-main bearing crank. Like a 144 Ford. Okay, yeah, that's kind of interesting. Didn't have enough power to tear itself apart. Kevin Smith says allergies to Tide. Huh. Terry Mott throws ice cream in his diet root beer. Oh, I used to do that all the time, but I can't do that anymore. My blood sugar goes up. Oh, I used to do that all the time. It'd foam all over the place, and then it was really good.
Olive says the rotaries had to burn oil, and Americans tend to not want to rev to the moon. Yeah, it would be weird revving an engine up when you're not used to hearing that sound and not relating it to how you're supposed to get your power out of it.
There's a little oil pump in there that pumped oil
Right
into
out of
the
the
intake.
crankcase, right?
It pulled it out of the crankcase, but it injected it into where the carburetor was, and that way, when you were wide open, it'd add some oil to the kind of like a 2-cycle, so it lube the upper end of that thing. So you
Yeah.
had to pay attention and put oil in it.
Yeah, and that doesn't fit the maintenance schedule that most people are accustomed to. I can imagine people running their engines out of oil.
Well, and you get ones that, like some old lady drives around, like she says they don't rev it up at all, and those pumps would get stuck and they wouldn't work right, or they finally open it up once and the pump would be stuck wide open because all gummed up, and then it'd be injecting oil all the time.
Oh.
I rebuilt so many of those.
Oh, that's right. You worked on a bunch of those.
Early rotaries. I had so many of them apart, and I had a lot of them myself. And yeah, we ran them at between every shift was at 7,000 RPM, which is the red line from the factory. So, and I probably revved them up higher than that a couple of times too, but they run out of power because they were really made to be at that point. Oh, Tavo says, can you, because this is really flying here. But Tavo says he's got pictures coming, so I'm going to look there while you're reading them.
Okay. Several people say, Buddy Carfano had, I hope you got your points. Tide makes me itchy. Yes, some people have allergies to certain detergents, which may be something he needs to consider because he buys cheap detergent and he's got a lot of itchiness.
Yeah, but it's been
look
getting
like
worse for
detergent
10
issues.
years. I'm thinking what I have may be a reaction to one of my meds.
Meds. Oh yeah, it could
But
be.
my doctor doesn't have time for me. It's really upsetting.
I know.
So I'm going to
appointment with
somebody
a
else.
Skin doctor.
So anyway, here's what engine was this?
Is that the Menard? One of the Menard? Oh.
The Holden engine is on its way, but I forget what size it was because that's already gone by.
Slant 6 a lot.
I can't see the bolt pattern, but it's probably for the other one. Yeah, that's a like a cute little baby Chevy engine, sort of.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting little engine. Has that American car look, but it's not. You know, it's a yeah. Look where the fuel pump goes. Look where the thermostat housing is. The whole thing just looks like a American engine from the '60s. Let's see here. Oh, 308. Yep. Oh no, the 308's the V8. It's a 138. Danny Boyd's here. Hello. No, the 308 was another engine. It was the small V8 uh, Holden engine, which when back in the 80s, I used to get the Australian magazines because I was going to sell parts down there. But that never worked out. But I still liked the magazines because the old Street Machine magazine from uh, Australia in the 80s was a really had glossy photos. It was just a premium magazine. And I always looked forward to getting that thing. So I started liking the Holden Monaros and the Falcons and things they had down there. But a lot of people had that 308 engine. It looked GM, but I knew it wasn't. The valve covers are a different shape than our small block Chevy, so I knew it was something else. And Tavo just kind of confirmed that. Yeah, that's a nice looking engine there. That's a nice little tiny engine. What could we put that in? We can't get that here.
Vintage Adventures. I drove a rotary powered 83 RX-7. I dumped the clutch at 4,000 RPM and it just bogged. It didn't have the power to chirp the tires. Yeah, it didn't have the rotating mass to.
But when you get the thing rolling and you roll into it in the throttle, they had horsepower. Yeah, but no torque. They had horsepower because you get the RPM up, and horsepower is a product of torque and RPM. It's that drool tube bung under the number 2 spark plug
I
hole.
see it there. I don't know what
Yeah,
that
what is that thing?
Right there.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Who can guess? What would that be?
Interesting engine. Looks like a small diesel. That's because it's gray. But it's got spark plug holes. I guess those could be injector holes. Mostly all parts. I appreciate the work of the automotive stylist did on cars before '72. The engine bays used to be a thing of beauty. Yep, I agree. With the exception of Fords, where the cars like 60 Falcons up through the Granadas and stuff, where they had the springs up on the top and just take up half the engine space with springs. I didn't like those things, but a lot of Fords didn't. They had the springs on the bottom, and then the best of both worlds. The Fox bodies came out. The springs were on the bottom. They just had a point that went up there into a tower, but a much smaller tower, where the knuckle would turn. I really like Fox bodies. I am so happy to have a Fox body again. OCL part. To my point, is there a sexier engine than a nailhead Buick? They're pretty cool looking, aren't they? Vintage Adventure. I vote for the Y block. Man, I had Y block Fords. I had so many Y block Fords. Yeah, look at that green one up there. That 406 nailhead. Look at the way the valve covers are. They go like straight up and down because the push rod. See, that front view right there. That's not a nailhead. That cutaway view, because the push rods go wrong. The push rods go up and then the rockers go back and the valves go straight up and down. You know what I mean, Kim? That cutaway there is not a nailhead. Stray bullet, Kim and Buff look tiny compared to that engine. Yeah, because we shrunk ourselves down. I don't know, like a Tomei 16. I don't know what that is. 1600 is pretty sexy with multiple side drafts. See if you can find. What was the other engine we were talking about?
Oh, Google is fruity today.
Oh, 308. Holden 308 engine. See if we can get one of those up here. I haven't checked my email in the last couple of minutes. Tavo sent us all kinds of stuff, but my guess is he's going to have to go back to work. Oh, here's more. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I guessed. Looks like he already sent one. Well, this is a 253, which is the...
Already have that picture up there.
It's the same picture he sent. Yeah, you could actually swap this out so we could get the whole thing. Yeah, but when I first saw one of these, it looks so General Motors, so just like a GM V8, except I knew that it was something else because of the shape of the valve covers, but it has that American engine look, but oh, it's an Australian engine. Oh, it says L28 Datsun, similarly attired. Patrick Sullivan, thanks, Tavo. That's what I wanted to see. Because see, back in the 80s, when I was getting those magazines, people were building these engines. The 308 looked just like that. And I didn't really know what it was. Although, I saw it. But not here.
We've been going for 3 hours.
Yep, we just went over 3 hours.
How are you feeling?
I'm hurting, but I'm hurting like I'm actually kind of hoping that I'm still hurting like this, my neck and my shoulder and this arm. I'm hoping I hurt like this when I go to the doctor tomorrow, because then they got something to work with, And if I go in there, I'm feeling great, and there's nothing to work with, they don't know what they're doing. Oh, Buddy Carafano sent something. Good motor for a Z7. What is this? What is this? Oh, no, I don't think so. I'm going to take it away in a second. You know what a 409 is? It was the original big block Chevy. Cool looking engine, but those things are enormous and they're heavy.
Oh.
They're a cool looking engine. I mean, those valve covers. And there's a 348 look just like that. But the 348 has smaller deck height. What's the old parts? Holden Orange bears a striking resemblance to Chevy Orange. I really like Chevy Orange. I didn't like it when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, because all my friends had their Chevys and they painted everything orange, and I had Fords, and it was like, I had to have everything the dark Ford blue, like in the late 60s and early 70s. I painted everything that color. That was mine.
Danny Boyd is zoning out to the colors of his fans. Danny Boyd. Thanks for being here, Danny. But you're a silly man.
Yeah, Dan says 409s are just cool. They are. 409's a really cool engine. It's just Buddy Carafano suggesting that I put it in the Mercury Z7. It's just not the right engine for it.
Not the right engine.
Although I thought about a small block Chevy. I have one.
Oh, he's been talking about it. I'm like, don't put a Chevy in a Ford.
I've done it before. I've done it.
You're going to get canceled. People are going to unsubscribe.
I put a 327 in a Cougar, and it was the fastest car I ever owned. But, a lot of it
we got other cars. Buy a Chevy car and put the Chevy motor in the Chevy car. Yeah, just keep it like it is a drive, and we'll buy a Chevy body.
If I do a small block Ford in that, how many different bell housing bolt patterns they have? How many different deck heights they have? How many different? When you get Fords, you gotta just get exactly the right parts. You have a Chevy, everything from 1955 to 2000 fits.
Just leave that car exactly how it is. Drive it and enjoy it. If you want to build a big Chevy with a big Chevy motor in it, we'll build one. We'll get a body. We'll put it in there. Don't.
All right. Whatever.
I don't think you should. I think you should probably just leave it at 200. Unless we can get a 302.
I don't know. It drives nice the way it is. It just isn't fast. I remember my last one. Yeah, I'm starting to drive. It feels a lot like my last one. Except my last one, if I was going to pass somebody, I just roll into it a little bit and go, whoom, around them. This one, if I roll into it, it goes, you can't pass anybody. But it's okay, It's okay. 2.3 EcoBoost in the Fairmont. Yeah. If I had a 32 Ford, you betcha I'd run a flatty in it. Yeah, that's what I could put in the Fairmont, a flathead Ford. Put it up like, what's that doing in there? That would be the wrong engine. The 348 409 had that wonky combustion chamber in the block. Yeah, and I've never put one together, but it just looks like it'd be challenging to get the rings to go into that. Just doesn't look like fun. I don't know. I guess people put them together pretty easily. I just never done it. But I think a 409 looks really, really great. I've seen them in hot rods and stuff, in a bucket T or something. What a great looking engine, The final 409 came in a 65 Impala. Really? But that same year, didn't they put when did the 396 come out? Probably in 66. I'm not sure. Danny Boyd, you could still get a 348 in 1967. Oh, yeah, in the trucks. Yeah, I remember seeing a garbage truck with a 348 in it, which looked like a 409, but it's smaller. And I don't remember what year that was. It could have been a 67. So I remember it was a garbage truck. Yeah. 396 was in 65. Okay, so in 65, probably early ones 409 and later model ones 396. Don't know, or maybe it overlapped. Don't know. That's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Kim just disappeared. Danny Boyd, 65 is the only year for the 396 and a Corvette. Also the year of the Z16 Chevelles. I thought 65, 66. I thought 66 there was a 396 and a Corvette. I know what the big block hood looked like in 66. And then in 67, I know it was a 427. Two hacks. L78 396 might be a fall-winter 2025 build for me. Really? Danny Boyd. Cerebral 3393. Way cooler than any LS or even Coyote. Straybuilt says Coyote engine in the Fairmont is the only one that makes any sense at all. Well, you know what? Give me about a $20,000 super chat, and I'll consider
20,000.
Probably more than that. Probably more than that. Oh man, there's some of hot rodding that's fun is working with what you got. Olive says, I think a 302 in the Zephyr might be satisfying, but no need to get silly. See, yeah, Z7.
Oh, shit, you're right. It is 20,000, 23,000.
Yeah, see, I had my last one that was not a Zephyr, it was a Fairmont Futura. I built a 302. It was just 302 and C4 in that. And that thing went really good. I really enjoyed that car. And that one had a 4-cylinder in it when I got it. It was the Pinto engine. Well, the cross member's the same, so it's just a bolt in. It was easy. Really easy bolt in. See, Buddy says, keep Z7 Ford engine. What is this? Oh, come on. Oh, Buddy Carfano sends me this. Single overhead cam 427. And do I have to widen the car to do that? Danny Boyd says 351 Windsor. Yeah, I've thought about that. And that's really the one I was thinking about, except I started looking at 351 Windsors. The one I had was a 69. It all made sense to me. But now there's different deck height 351s, and there's different this and different that. It's like, oh my God, why
Plus,
did
will you
they
ever
do this?
where will you ever find a bell housing that
And
matches?
then, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Right now, that Zephyr's going to run around with a 200 cubic inch 6 for quite a while.
For a little while.
And see, the other thing, Danny Boyd says, although a 351 Cleveland will pretty much bolt in anywhere, a 302 or 351 will something. Uh, what I've thought about is, like Dallas built a cleaver, I'd like to do that, but man, you could put so much money into that. I'm not made of money. I'm
only
I'm on a
6K.
I'm in a budget.
Only 6K.
I'm on a budget.
Then what are we gonna do with the car? Drive it to the grocery store with $6,000 engine in it.
Yeah, the 351 Cleveland uses small block Ford bell housing, but I don't have a transmission with that bell housing. So then I've got to. I guess I take my C4 I have and try to find the right bell housing. I guess
you could take the transmission out of my van.
Your van needs to remain your van. Yeah, Tavo says keep it a Ford 6. Oh, I see Barra 6, yeah. I just saw one in the US online, and somebody had put a 250 6 in it. Kind of looks like mine, except they use the Australian head, an aluminum head from Australian car. And I didn't know you could do that. You'll have to live in it after you build it. Yeah, I sell my house so I can have a car.
You have to live.
Although, in the evening, what I like doing is going out, sit in that car and DXing with the radio.
It is fun to talk about the possibilities.
Danny Boyd
There's no doubt about that.
Danny Boyd says a 300 Ford 6. They never put them in that car. I don't know how well that would fit. But if I want 300 inches, I might just well put a 302 Ford in it,
Yeah. Yeah, the length would make more sense in that car. I don't think a 306 is long.
That car's got a lot of little stuff. I want to fix all that stuff.
Taller.
Yeah, and then the rear end. Yeah, that's what happened to my one when I put the 302 in it.
Oh, yeah, the rear end may not last long.
Then I broke the rear end, yeah. Oh, and the bolts. Remember those bolts you just did? It's all in our videos. Yeah, I just sheared those bolts off immediately when I put the 302 in it. Rear 6 was still based loosely on the original Logger 144. Yeah, I've seen them. They look a lot different. Just put a 302 if you're on a budget, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I got a small block Chevy sitting there with a 350, a turbo 350 behind it, which, with the cross member it has, wouldn't be too bad. There'd be some things I wouldn't, I'd have to work out the exhaust, and I'd have to work out the power steering, and the alternator wouldn't be hard. Just use single wire GM. But, it's stuff I got to buy, So, Danny Boyd, I love DXing AM and FM if the signal propagation's right. You know what? That radio that came with the Zephyr, I put 4 new speakers in it. If you've been watching, I guess you remember that. So the AM sounds really good, but there's hardly any AM stations around here in the daytime. But at night, I can sit there, probably get 150 stations. I was sitting out there the other night, just sitting in my car messing with it, enjoying it. But the FM does not work. There is no FM in that radio. So I don't know. Stray bullet. You can't put a Chevy engine.
Watch him do it.
See, how many have you seen? Where is it? Where is it? My Cougar.
He's already done it. Now he's going to show off.
See, but I don't really want to do this too.
2Hack says AM is great at night.
Oh, yeah, I enjoy that. I was looking at radios that are car radios that were really meant for European cars, but some of them have ended up in the U.S. And they have AM, FM, and shortwave and longwave. They have 4 bands on them. And I thought, I'd enjoy that. So I don't know. That's just one of those nice things to do later. It's not something I need for a daily driver. It's just something that I enjoy. Let's see if I can find, here it is. Where is it? Oh, they're buried in here somewhere. Here it is. What happened?
It's thinking. Give it a second.
Yeah, but you don't have the... What's going on? Why did it do that?
Just
click
it again. See. Maybe
No, it's some goofy file extension that isn't going to work. You piece of crap. What's it doing? I don't want that. How do you close that?
Well, it's got to run through it now. I don't know what you did, but...
I clicked on something with a goofy... Just close that. And now it's up over there. Just get rid of that. I won't click on that picture again. Because here.
Stop.
No, don't stop me. Don't stop me. I don't want to open that TIFF file. I have another picture, same picture, that's not a TIFF. I hate that. I ought to just delete it. I just got to find it in here. Here it is. This is a JPEG. Same thing. That's the Chevy engine in my Cougar. So, 2 hacks, AM coast to coast. Listen to a lot of that. Yeah, back when it was Art Bell, I used to listen to it a lot. So let's see if I can find another picture of this. I think I can just scroll. Nope, wrong way. Wrong way. Yeah, that's me like in 1978.
I don't believe it. You're wearing the same sweatshirt.
Yeah, I like the gray sweatshirts. And the guy with the dark hair, his name was Paul. He was a friend.
That was not a fight. Oh, man. You've never seen us fight.
What's that? No, I don't want to mess with that TIFF file.
He got mad because TIFF didn't work.
Well, I clicked on it, forgot I had a stupid TIFF file in there. You know what's going to happen to that TIFF file?
I don't care what happens to that.
Delete.
You deleted it.
Why do I want a TIFF file in there? Just to make things miserable?
I don't know why TIFF goes...
So anyway, that's my 67 Cougar with a Chevy in it. It ran fine. I mean, it thing really ran. Oops, that's another picture. No, I thought I had another picture of it from the front. I know I do. I just don't know where it is. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, that's it from the front. 67 Cougar with small block Chevy in it. That car had 556 gears in the rear end and a turbo 400, so you can imagine it was like a, one block racer, street racer. Okay, so there's more. Yeah, all it says those about as big as velocity stacks I've seen diameter-wise. Yeah, those were rain gauges. You had to keep them covered up. I didn't always have them covered up. Okay, let's see if I can find the next. Yeah, she's mad at me now. She left.
No.
Okay, let's see. Straight 6.
Temperature.
Straight 6. Buddy Carfano sent this.
We're not getting snow. It's showing the 50s.
Oh, no, we're not going to get any snow. Oh, what is this thing? This is some craziness. Fox rod. Yeah, that's a Fairmont with some kind of a 6-cylinder.
This is a 300. And
it is a 300.
Close to 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
They have a really stout bottom end. You can really...
Yeah, you probably need a couple of volleyballs for those. Let's see what Tavo sent. Tavo sent another one. Oh, this is the this is the Australian 250 with the aluminum head. That almost bolts in, I think. But that's in Australia. It's like then every time I need parts and I got to get the engine here, that's not a budget operation. Cool engine though. 2Hex. What was that 253? 253 what? Oh, that last picture? Oh, TalkNet with Bruce Williams. Yeah, I didn't listen to that very much. Let's see. Anybody, his son wrecked the Trans Am, but I think, what's this? I missed something. Bruce Williams on AM radio as a kid. His son wrecked the Trans Am, but I think he also said he had a Metro or one of those three bangers with Jacobs on it as well. I'm lost here. They're talking about something. I was looking somewhere else. Towel, same bottom end as the regular 200, 250, but a cross flow push rod head, direct swap for early engines. So I could put that I could put that head on my 200.
Is your 200 considered an early 200?
I don't know, probably not, because my 200's a 78, and I mean the 200s came out, like a 65 Mustangs and stuff had them.
When was that break from early to not early?
Ford. They probably had 6 different versions.
Did they change the bell housing?
Oh, what gets me is like you look at the bell housing. Oh, is your starter above or below? Is it this year or that year? Like, just put a Chevy in it. They're all the same bell housing. Oh man, and I'm not a Chevy guy. It's just like it's turned into that because the availability of parts. 50 years later, it's still availability of parts. Oh, vintage adventure drive. It says 556 gears. I thought I was good going at 433. Yeah, I had 556 gears, and my best friend at the time, had a Gremlin with a 429 Ford and 556 gears, and those cars would go just one block at a time. You'd be topped out. They had to be short blocks. You had to get out of it before the end of the block, because it just burned tires. It is one of those street show off cars, Just every time you drove it, you had to be watching for the cops, because it's just one of those stupid cars, kid's car, And then the guy that got it was a 3-way trade deal when I sold it, and the kid that got it wrecked it and just destroyed it. Just destroyed that car. I didn't know Tava the Barra has interested me for years, but not much info or anyone running them here. Yeah, that's why they what that GM engine that Nivlak runs. They call it the Ameribara. Is that what they call the Ameribara? It's the General Motors 4200 that he has in his Fairmont. See, there's a Chevy in a Fairmont. Tao says this one is 2 generations before the Barra. Yes, Straybuilt says it's because everyone has abandoned the small block and big block Chevy engines for the LS. Yeah, the LS engine. I have nothing for an LS engine. No parts, no knowledge, no. And then I watch somebody like, what's his name? Guy with the Laguna.
Levi? Dylan?
Yeah, Dylan. I watch him break his all the time. It's like, but I know I had a rental Corvette for a short period of time, with an LS3 in it. Man, that was fun. There was a company van I used to drive for years. It had an LS in it. Yeah, I like those things, but you know, I've got a small block sitting right there, and you could just go on eBay and buy any parts you want for cheap, you know.
John Wilburn is here.
John
Welcome to the
Wilburn.
stream, John. Good to see you. Glad you made it in.
Yeah, it's Levi. Yeah, I was trying to think of Dylan. I couldn't think of Dylan. I was thinking Levi. It was Dylan. Yep. That's who it was. He breaks a lot, but he's boosting the shit out of it and racing it, you know. And when
and
you
he's
do
still
that,
learning.
And when you do that, things break, you know.
Oh yeah,
It's a fast car, you know. Vintage says, I'm about to call it quits for live. I gotta work on my Triple Crown car so I can get 40 more subscribers and hit the 500. Hey, Kim.
Yeah.
Oh, John Wilburn can do it. You don't need to do it. John Wilburn, can you put up a link for Vintage so that if we have somebody here that has not subscribed, he only needs 40 more. Maybe we can get him a couple of those.
Well, John Wilburn needs to do one of those streams for him pretty
Well,
soon.
John Wilburn probably will, but that doesn't mean everybody in here is going to be there, you know. So maybe he can. He'll probably do it. And he's mod, so he can do it.
Or maybe he's not subscribed, or maybe he didn't sign up for No Name Nationals yet. Maybe that's what.
Well, he says he's working on his Triple Crown. Yeah, maybe he hasn't signed up yet, so he wouldn't be in the. I don't know if he's in the No Name 500 or not. Mike N says, I choose a small block Chevy over an LS3 for my 69 Camaro 2 years ago. Yeah, that's what belongs in it. I don't know. I think small block Chevy is a nice engine, you know. Oh, next week. How about 77? Have we done 77 yet, Kim?
No, we did 78.
78. Okay. 77 next week. Yeah, good thinking. I didn't even think of bringing that up.
Who thought of that?
Who always thinks of that? Buddy Carfano. He made a suggestion, but he's the only one who made a suggestion, so he did it.
Thinking ahead.
What is this, John Wilburn? Oh, he put it up. John Wilburn, Vintage Adventure Drives. We need to live soon. We'll get the rest live, yeah. And there's a link to his channel. If you're not subbed, maybe you could sub and help him get to that No Name 500. Oh, and he is registered, so he is in the No Name 500. So he'll be he's right about there. John helped me go over the top at 500. But man, John, I don't know where I am now. I'm like John really helped me. Just kind of steered me in the right direction. Yeah, we got two, Patrick Sullivan and Mike N, both second the 1977. So that's what we're going to do.
Oh, good. So it's unanimous.
Unanimous. So, and Mike N third. Oh, he's second and third. So, anyway. I don't remember what I was saying. Something about this.
See, we're wearing them out.
Am I? I'm sure I'm sub to him. Yeah, so I'm creeping up on 4,000 subs. I'm feeling pretty good about that. But it was John that really got me on track. How to just stay after it. Post something. Just stay after it.
Learning and growing and communityizing and wrenching
so I'll tell you what. Tell you about subs. The first 500 was definitely the hardest.
Oh yeah.
That was 500 hard-earned subs. When I got to about 350 subs, it just like I'd get one. I'd be, Cam, we got another one, you know. And then one more, Kim, we got another one.
The
We're like,
worst was when the number went down.
oh,
He'd be like, "We lost.
we lost one. We're going backwards. But I just keep staying after it. He's leading the 9500 with 460 subs. Sounds good. Vintage says, thanks all, John Wilbur. I'll be in touch soon. Good night, everyone. Good night. Communityizing, Straight Bullet says
It might not be a real word.
That might not be a real word. Real word. Real. Man, am I tongue tied.
77 is Malaise era.
Malaise era?
Is it?
I don't know. 77. Well, it was before the Fox body. What was in 77? Yeah, it's kind of like one of those years. I don't know.
We'll pick it apart. We'll see what's good, what's bad.
Well, you know what was good
like,
then? Trans Ams were pretty nice then. And they had reinvigorated is that a word? The Z28 Camaros. And the Mustangs were the little baby Pinto-ish Mustangs, Mustang 2s that people either liked or didn't like. I don't know, 77 was... Of course, there were Novas that were pretty good. I don't know. It's an interesting year. I'll be working on that. Mike N. My 10-year-old daughter got to 471 subs in about a month playing games. Then she stopped. Man.
I mean, if it's not what she wants to do,
at
10 years old, you shouldn't push her too hard. If she's not that interested in it, then just...
10 years old, your interests are probably going to change.
Yeah. It's a phase.
Every 10-year-old boy wants to be a cop, and then a fireman, and then an astronaut. There's all those cool jobs.
Yeah.
And then eventually they do something else. By the time they're 19 or 20, they
I've been doing
the
YouTube
army,
for like 8 years. I don't want to do it anymore. If I was a child, I would quit.
A couple of her videos have 70,000 views.
Wow.
Man.
I think
Can she transform over to me?
There's more interested in little girls playing games than there is in people building cars. Once you get to 1,000 subs, they're counted in tens anyways, so the people don't notice the fluctuations as much.
Yeah, but in your analytics you can see the individuals, but yeah, you don't see it unless you're looking at your own analytics.
Mike and I didn't push her at all. Well, I mean,
no, and don't. I mean, kids just let them
at 10 years
figure
old,
out what they want to do.
Yeah, at 10 years old, it's not,
Danny
only
Boyd
if it's violin or what dance that they force they beat the children unless they practice and stuff.
Danny Boyd, at 10, I wanted to be a truck driver and I wanted a Kenworth. John Wilbur, he retracted it. I missed it.
All right.
Mike N., wife and I had no idea. Our jaws dropped when we noticed.
That's awesome, though. But you know what? Someone might have said something that she didn't like. Someone might have said something at school, and she was like, I don't want to,
She got onto something else. Interest.
Probably learned some kind of important lesson. Hopefully she wasn't getting bullied.
I always liked cars, but as far as what I wanted to do, when I was that age, I wanted to be a pilot, and I wanted to be a cop, and I wanted to drive an ambulance, and all these different, anything looked exciting, astronaut, all this kind of stuff. But, eventually all that settles down. John Wilbur, my 12-year-old niece is closing in on 1,000 subs doing goofy kid things. Anyone who put the work in will get there. Well, so she has 1,000 subs. She can... she's 12. She can't drive no-name nationals. I was going to say she qualifies. No, she doesn't. Stray Bull, I wanted to become a truck driver too. Peterbilt, though. When I was that age, they had all the cab-over trucks. All the trucks are like big flat front things with like a bed right behind them. They're really short tractors. And they were, like they used to say, white Freightliner on the front of them. I remember those things. Back when White and Freightliner were together. Buick Smith just got here late, huh? Emailed you some pics of old 61, 62 Buick. Let me check.
You have the right screen you need?
I don't know what I got. Yeah, I think so, Kim. I'm not sure. I'm downloading pictures right now.
You're talking about trucks.
No, I'm talking about pictures I'm downloading, so I'm not paying attention to the chat. I'm just. And Aunt D got here. Good evening. Hello, just got here. Is that an Aussie Ford 6? It is. That's when the Tavo sent in pictures of all these Australian engines, and we were talking about the Ford 6, the aluminum head, because I've got a Ford 6 with a goofy head we got, and he sent that one in because we didn't get that. Kind of interesting. Okay, so where is it? Buick Smith sent in. Where is it? Here we go. Wow. Griffin radiator. There you go. That's a good radiator. Oh, look at that. Buick, I think it's special wagon. Yeah, I like these. I like these bodies because they were kind of small. They were really small cars. Just comfortable, nice cars to drive. Yeah, it's a 61. That other one I think was a 62. Yeah, there's a 62. Where's that 62 wagon? Let me see. Yeah, that thing, that's a good car. I had a friend that had a 62 Buick. He bought his wife a 62 Buick four-door sedan. Was it a four-door sedan? It was a four-door sedan. Had a 215, some kind of a two-speed automatic in it. And it was a nice little car. And that was probably 1970 or 71. So it was like a, 8 or 9-year-old car. And it was a really nice car. She drove that thing around. Yep, those little aluminum V8s. That's what hers had. Judy was her name. Judy in the Buick. Hey Jude, remember that? That's why I remember her name. Buick Smith. Yes, I put the 350 in it. Yeah, look at that with a Griffin radiator. Yeah, you chose a good radiator too. Those things are probably expensive. Paul says I was at an age where I expected to go to space. That didn't happen given the times, obviously. Cop was the default. Oh, here we are, commercials. Kim, where'd you go? In the kitchen. Okay, maybe the ads are finished. Don't know. I'm waiting for Kim to get back.
How come? What am I missing?
Well, I want you to come back. You don't know what you're going to miss yet. Mike N, I've never named any of my cars. Yeah, it seems to be everybody names cars. I don't know if it's a drag racing thing or not. So it's like, do I need to pick out a name for my car? I don't know. My car came with a name that I don't especially like. They called it Chewy after Chewbacca because of its color, but that vinyl roof's not likely to stick around. So I don't know. Okay, Kim. The reason I want you back is because we're at 3 hours and 45 minutes, and I think we've reached
I'm out of
our
steam.
limit. Yeah, I think so too. So, 77 is the year next week. We'll be back to do
Money Pit. There you go.
yeah. 1977. I'll find some kind of a thumbnail for that. And we're likely to be up live sometime during the week, once or twice at the shop, messing around with cars up there. And other than that, I think we're ready to say goodnight. Ready to say goodnight?
Thanks everyone who's been here. If you are still here, you've made it to the end of the stream. I'm awarding you 2 points. Thank you so much for coming tonight and sticking with us. Thanks for sending in pictures and for all your comments. I'm sorry. I know we missed some stuff as it went by, but it's hard to keep up with everybody. But we do appreciate you being here. Come on back next time, and we will do it again Tuesday night.
Say goodnight.